what's up, people? This is Sonny Jan of the Naam Brigade. You checking out the full video on the Untold interview.
What's up, Naam Brigade, man?
What up, man?
What's going on?
Welcome to the Untold, brothers.
Let's clap it up for Untold.
Yeah.
I made it.
Yes, sir. We here.
Oh man, so introduce yourself for those that know you and don't know you. Let's go with you.
What's up, y'all? I'm Sonny Jan, aka Rambo.
Sonny Black, a.k.a. Power Metal Boss, the character Blast in the movie One Gun. You heard me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ice the Superstar. My name Roland Belling, the executive producer of music and everything.
Oh man.
Real name shit.
Off cam, I was telling one of y'all that when I was going to King on Stanton Avenue, Uptown, we was listening to Early in the Game. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the songs that, got us through our periods in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I went in the rafters, man. For sure.
Yeah.
Hip hop, legendary record. That's one of them.
Now, speaking of Naam Brigade,
Yes, sir.
originally, how did it come about?
Naam came about from our late great member Q9. And my brother Ed Pat. One day they was at the Ram Squad. They was at the pool party, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was at Epi House.
Yeah, Epi crib.
They said that party was so crazy at that time. You know what I'm saying? That was right after we was making the transition from task force. They said, man, we need to start a new squad.
Right.
Then we had a meeting. They was like, let's start the squad. Let's call it Naam. Niggas all about money. And we tore the streets down from there, and the rest is history, man. We can get into it, though. Let's go.
So coming together now, was all of y'all a part, like, in the same neighborhood, or it was, like, all around Philly?
We was. Q9,
From Winfield.
he was from Winfield.
Okay. Before that, y'all had a group, a movement. I'm gonna say a movement, task force. Am I correct?
Wow,
yeah.
Super correct.
Task
Super
force.
movement.
Yeah.
Task force.
That's where it all started from.
Yeah. Could we get into that?
Task force was like, originally it was like, 40 of us.
Yeah, we was like a Wu-Tang back then.
Big shout to Andy, man. Andy, man, played a major part into that. Right there on 58th Street, 58th and Willows, the Silver Palace Chinese store. Came together from us hookieing school.
Shout out to Malik Humphrey,
And then once we got together, we started battling other squads and tearing niggas to shreds, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Young boys back in our Turner Middle School Bartram days. Just battling, like back then, battling was like, you had to have them punchlines and the metaphors back then.
First of all, I'm always talk shit. Let's get back to that. I was fire. Fire.
Well, you know what? Since we gonna get back, I discovered him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I put him with the team, and you see, no, that's the truth.
Ain't the truth.
Bullshit. You was in my.
I ain't discovered shit.
Nigga,
you discovered me.
I discovered
Don't worry, he said he discovered me.
I did.
Nah, yeah. You wanna know what happened? Tell me the truth, man. You battled, I smoked you.
Yeah.
And you went back and said, boy, ice hot. We been hooking and I ain't even know he rap.
He came up to me and wanted to rap from me.
No, come on.
And I said, all right, you sound good.
Ice owed Sonny his career, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Now you mentioned Bartram. That's the school that everyone attended, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our high school, but it was different ones. I went to main building.
I went to motivation. He went to
We
freshman.
went to human service.
On human service.
Okay. Now growing up in the streets of Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying, when y'all come up, y'all younger days, how did you guys navigate, in the city of Philadelphia amongst drugs, you know what I'm saying, violence and things like that?
How did you navigate?
How did you navigate?
We was a part of it. So the navigation was determined on how we move. Like, it was around us all the time. All our homies, us, all of us so cool. All of us so, in the streets, squad, crazy squad. If you know anything about like the non-squad, 100 crazy motherfuckers. That's how it was. So you navigated through the streets like accordingly. Now it's different. Like now, you look back at how we navigated and you realize, you know, the damage you did to yourself, things we could have did different. You know what I mean? And people you affected. You know, you look at it like that, you navigate different now.
And being young and naive, not even knowing, like, it's really real, but just out there. Like, it's really going down, and we just everywhere in the streets doing what we do, because it was there.
Right.
It's just like when you're young and fearless, you like, oh, somebody got killed, this person happened, and now social media broadcasts it, but back then it was going down crazy.
But you had to navigate because of your lifestyle. You know, a lot of times you hit the streets because of what was going on in the household.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you wanted to be there to help mom. That was the time when the drug era hit. You know what I mean? And it hit our households hard. So then, you know, you went to humbling times from times of experience and good life. Life goes on a decline, make you grow up fast, push you to the streets. You know what I'm saying? For those reasons. So it wasn't a glorified reason to enter the streets. It was to take care of the family.
Right.
And then all the jewels, the cars, the flashiness, the women, all that came along with it. But initially, it was because, you know, we might not eat tonight. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Now, speaking of the household, what was a normal day for you guys and your household?
Well, I had a big family, so it was love in my house. You know, it was like, you know, it was just a big family, and it was just normal. You know, cousins, aunts, grandma, mom. You know, it was normal. I didn't really live how people like really went through it. Like, you know, I mean, it was people in crime and doing stuff and doing what they do, but I didn't, you know, feel. Even though we was poor, you know, growing up, I felt like I was, you know, I had something, even though it wasn't like that. But I made sure I wasn't that kid that was calling, that's a dirty little kid. You know, you ain't had nothing to eat. You know, I had the house of bargain now, but
right.
It was new.
The House of Bargain. I forgot about the House of Bargain.
Yeah, I remember the House of Bargains.
House of Bargain.
What about you, Sonny?
For me, like I said, it went from glamorous times to hard times. You know what I'm saying? But like he said, we made the best of it. I had the house everybody wanted to hang over growing up on 58th and Hatfield. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, my step-pop was a character in itself. You can do a whole show about that guy. But yeah, you know, me, my brothers, my sisters, hey man, my mom taught us how to stick together, man. You know, we come from humble beginnings, man.
Right.
The gas, heating the crib with the stove, the kerosene heaters, and you know, all that, man. It wasn't all bad, but that's what helped shape and mold you as a man and the person that I am today.
He ain't lying, because we've been together since we was 9 years old, so he ain't lying, you know.
I mean, I had a strong family. You know, Pop was around, Mom was around. It wasn't too much. Like, my family, we super tight. It was more the streets growing up. So, you know, you got family outside of the family, too.
Right.
So, that family was a little different from the other family. So, like I said, my family, mom, pops, all tight. You know, we went through rough times, of course. But my pop was kind of smart, so I got some ingenuity from him. So I was always creative, always can make something happen. I was gonna go cut grass or just whatever, shovel snow when it snowed. I did whatever. You know what I mean? Cut hair. I was charging $2. Fuck somebody's hair. Only charged $2. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I like to also add that spiritual balance that my mom instilled. That was something that carried me a long way. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was definitely heavy in the church when I was young. She made me go through older, ventured out to Islam on my own, you know. So yeah, that and to the youngest, I would say that's very important. Having a spiritual balance and something that you fear that's bigger than yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Linda Jesus. You know, so
right.
That's his mom.
Yeah, Linda G. That's right.
Now to go back to you know, Task Force and Naam Brigade and everything, was it hard rebranding from Task Force to Naam Brigade?
I think it was a smooth transition because we was already seasoned.
Yeah.
by that time.
The name just changed.
And to do that, people would have fear because Task Force was known, and just to scrap the name and then go out and push something new, you'll be like, I don't know, people ain't gonna know you because when we used to go around, they're like, what's y'all called now? And they'd be like, huh? Hey, y'all such and such.
No, it used to be motherfuckers like, yo, man, I think y'all better than that group Task Force.
And we be laughing.
Shit like that.
Like, yo, it came to me like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Y'all boys crazy, but to me, y'all a little better than the boys Task Force from Southwest. And just start laughing like we the same people. But that's how the transition was dope.
Right.
That switch, and they comparing it like, think you better, and it's the same people.
So it was hard work, though.
What studio y'all used to go to in the city?
Larry Gold.
Oh, you said studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, we was in Rug.
Rug.
Deputy Rug.
Yeah.
Rug first.
Yeah, we was.
Shouts to Rug, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Champ.
We call
Mad
it
drama.
Rugging is some mad drama, for real.
From the basement days.
From the
so
basement
we go
days.
way back.
We
Not
used
in
to talk
back
about
cave days, the basement
back then. They
days.
got the most airplay.
Yeah.
So let me go back just a little bit.
Right.
Before going into the studio. I know you guys came from rapping on the street corners and everything. How did that transition to formatting a actual studio record? Like, what was that process?
I about to say, we always.
No, we was recording like songs.
Okay.
Like,
We was in the studio early.
Yeah, early days. It was like, because remember I bring it up. Me and Miz was a group, DJ Miz from Southwest. And we recorded some songs, because Miz had the setup in his crib, so with the mic, so we was used to that.
Third Story. What about the
Third Story?
Yeah, that was the studio.
Yeah.
On Walnut Street.
Yeah.
Was that Walnut, right?
Yeah.
52nd and Walnut.
Yeah. So that's what that was. You know what I'm saying?
The transition was really, can you make songs?
Right.
That's when you go to the next level. Like, can you make a hit record in the song? Because the spit and the battle stuff is like,
that was already there.
Yeah, but to make a song that people could sing along and had labels like that's a good record, that's where you gotta,
But that transition also came from getting signed early.
Okay. Now, formatting a song, like formatting a song in the studio. Who was the person that said, "Hey, yo, listen, man, we gotta start making some records like that's appealing"?
Listen, that's a good question. I ain't even let you finish. We always made them. See, that's the thing. It never was a point where we wasn't making records.
Okay.
That's what made us special. We had our show, stage performance, and we made records. Come up with hooks. We already was hot, rhyming, punchline kings, all that. But the main thing was structuring the record. We knew how to make the hooks and knew how to make bars.
And we practiced a lot. We practiced like 5-6 hours a day.
And it was like natural practice. Like you wanted to be
and that's still to the day.
Yeah.
Records ain't changed.
Yeah.
Hit makers, real shit.
What was some of the programs that that y'all was working with in the studio?
Why no program?
It was real.
It was real to real.
Yeah. Real to real.
You know what I mean?
It was the
real to real. You had the SSL board.
Yeah.
Programming.
How much was that studio time?
Oh man, that's when it was.
It was ridiculous. We used to pay $125, $150 an hour. Like Larry Goes. We went to Rashid Waller. What's the name of that joint again? Rashid Waller Studio.
Yeah.
Larry Goes.
Yeah, we went to Sigma Sound. We did a lot of studio.
Oh, yeah.
Cajun. Touch of Jazz with Jazzy Jeff.
We did a lot of studio.
Like all them joints.
We can't miss all that, We did a lot of like the top studios in the city.
Right.
We was there.
Batcave, that's our guy though. That was our
like in our earlier days, them big studios that was famous. We was in them.
We was in them.
They cost a plenty penny.
Your first mixtape, and stop me if I'm wrong. Locally, you sold over $20,000. 20,000 copies. Am I correct?
Volume 2, the green CD.
They couldn't stand the stores. I remember one time we went to Sounds of Darby, dropped off a box of like 50 or 60 of them Jones, and we from Southwest, up at Darby ain't far. By the time we get 5 minutes, they like, yo, reload this. We had to double back.
Damn.
That Joan was, and we really branded ourselves at the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Okay.
We was out there. We went hand in hand, man. And everybody that was on the CD played a part because we always showed love to artists, whether you was high or low, whatever. If you sound good, come on, let's rock. You know what I'm saying? But that helped it spread through the city. It was heavy all over the city.
Who any features that was on there?
Yeah, that CD, I mean that tape was Freeway, PD Crack, Snacks the Fat Rapper. It was a lot of people.
Hill, Tommy was on there.
Yeah, Tommy Hill.
Yeah. And the rest just was all gang.
In that era.
Dark Mall.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
Low.
Nix.
Yeah.
Meek Millz.
Right.
Okay. Now in that era, you had State Property, you had Ram Squad, you had yourself, you had Major Figures.
They was on that CD. It was called Twin Towers.
Okay.
Featuring Major Figures, yeah. On that CD, Major Figures was on it too. We had a song called Twin Towers.
Okay. Now with all of those star groups in the early 2000s, let's say early mid, was the unity there?
As far as who?
Far as just, hey, that's my group, let's do a song, get in the studio, do it. You know what I'm saying? Was the unity there far as collabing with each other?
It was way different then.
Yeah.
Because we all knew each other from coming up in the 90s, so we're just like,
we really used to fuck with each other back then. Like we had talk shit. It's like it really was a competitive game on some real shit, whether it was streets or whatever. But when we saw each other, it was love. Yeah, it was love.
Now, when you was collabing with other groups and artists, I know the process is a little different now. Now you could just fly tracks through emails and WAV files and things like that. How did you guys do it? Did y'all get in the studio organically?
You gotta come through.
You gotta come through.
There's nothing better than that energy. Even now, I know you can fly and do all that's cool. But in that same building, that energy, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I like to do it, right? That's doing it on the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, plus we ain't had no choice.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only way it was done.
You get it done. Yeah.
Right in there, the energy, the music, bang.
You think about this. You think about a lot of things would have been different if the internet was in our era, beginning of our era, or if we had accessibility to get music and production to anybody across the country. They get it back. It was much. And it was crazy because we was the internet because we used to fly to places or drive to places across the country. You wanted to go get a song done with somebody, got to go to LA. Yeah, you know what I mean? The trip cost about $3,000-$4,000 to get this joint done.
Exactly.
Now, when you guys started, I believe, searching for a record deal or trying to put your music in the right hands, right? How did y'all go about that at that time?
At that time, that's when Charlie Mack came into play. Big Bro came in at that time, and he was Charlie Mack all around the world. That was fresh off of the Will Smith era, Jazzy Jeff. Mm-hmm. So he had all the connects, and it wasn't nothing but phone calls to get us, in front of whoever we need to get in front of. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, a lot of people came to us from our shows.
Right.
We performed, they was checking for us. You know what I mean?
Before you guys, started messing with Charlie Mack, did you ever have any labels start, come whisper in your ear, hey, listen, I could do X, Y, and Z for you, for your career, things like that?
No, not
that was kind of young. We was young.
Back then, the politics was really, you had to know somebody. Somebody to get up in them labels.
Okay.
So, it was like
we was just around. Bobby Dan's the only one that came.
Yeah, I was, Bobby. Yeah, it was a low, but to get Charlie, it went to a whole nother level being in front of them execs. You couldn't, anybody that's big that was coming through the 90s, 2000, we was rapping.
We didn't take no for an answer. We went through every door.
Every meeting.
House that shit.
Rap form, you name it, boom, spitting form. Giving a whole show with our rhymes in front of them. Beatboxing and spitting form. It wasn't even records. It was...
That's funny. That's crazy. These motherfucking interviews are funny. we used to beatbox when it's
I know.
Sonny I used to beatbox with Son. He like,
Yeah.
man, fucking beat corny, man. I'm giving you beats and shit.
That's how you know we taking it back.
You can
We
beatbox better.
beatboxing and spitting for somebody. They be like, damn,
Like, man,
they had the CD with the beats and boom, 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 and they were rhyming and they
Listen, however we had to get it done, we got it done, man. However we had to get it done. We got it done, man.
Sonny was always like, give him the beats how he did it. He'd give you a dope beat. When me and Ice come on, he'd be like, these boys, man. He be acapella. So, you know.
On the come up, who was some of the people that y'all looked up to? Like I remember, you had, like you said, Wu-Tang was out there, things like that. Like who were some of the
Take
people?
it all the way back, it was Rakim.
Rakim was my,
LL was my guy. Yeah,
LL still there.
LL was my guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But from Philly, I had Philly legends that I looked up to. You know,
Right.
Breeze, Schoolie D.
Right, shout out to that.
Ace Cool
Ace
Rock.
Cool Rock, who taught me how to rap. You know what I mean? Two Def MCs, DJ Bones. You know what I mean? And the Tough Crew is my top group.
Listen,
Shout outs to Two
that KRS one too.
Oh yeah,
KRS one.
definitely.
Rakim, definitely Rakim. Big, Kane, of course you know them. But I'm just saying, who I looked at like that, and I ain't gonna front. Don't get it fucked up. Cool Mo D was my man.
Oh,
He was my man.
They can't front. Cool.
Lyrical.
You know.
Okay, that's why
Now we showing our
Rakim,
age now. We showing our age now, you know.
Yo, yeah, Rakim was my man. Yeah,
Rakim.
Yeah, that Rakim was just got me and him argued about
That was-
Rakim and
that was the
LL.
that
But
was the
Kane
first
was
time.
right there now. You know what I mean? Because Kane had the metaphors, but LL was my guy. For us to tour with him on our first world tour, we didn't get into that. But to go out with the GOAT, come on, man. It was all women.
But just before you segue, real fast, but the first person that I heard rapping was my mom.
Your mom.
My mom. Writing around the battle Lady B.
Ooh.
I mean, putting the joint together too.
Whoa.
Back room, my uncle the DJ. I'm like, that was the first window rapping I got.
And his mom still want to battle Lady B to this.
Hold on. Mom Dukes battle Lady B or about to.
I don't think it ever
But she
happened.
wrote the rhyme for
But
it.
she was prepared for whatever reason. She was ready to,
Uh,
yeah, yes sir.
Now let me ask y'all
That's
something,
funny.
man. Shout outs to all the female rappers
They run the shit, man.
that opened the door in Philadelphia. We just want to marginalize it into Philadelphia.
Malika Love.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all something.
With that money.
It's a question. Muhammadia or Lady B?
Muhammadia the rapper. Lady B ain't the rapper.
Well, she was a rapper,
Well,
but
but she-
it wasn't, you know.
So, that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna look at. I'm not gonna look at it like I know, of course, if Lady B rapped, all right, but we talking about Muhammadia. Come on, now. She been in the game, and she just a different type.
I would say Muhammad did as far as rapping because I never heard Lady B rap, but I would say influence Lady B.
Lady B
B,
influenced everybody.
From radio and one of the first radio stations.
She influenced all of them.
WHAT was what she was really
Yeah,
first.
so you gotta give her
It
flowers.
was AM.
Even though she don't never call us for the basement party, we still gonna give her flowers because she deserves it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Greek picnic.
Wow.
Where were you at? What was you doing in that era and that?
Performing at the Greek. When
That
they
was
had the
performing.
big-
What year?
97.
I was
Only
still a
performed
kid,
at the
kid.
Greek once.
Listen, in that show, and this is no lie.
They rushed the stage.
We started performing. It was a stage built. They rushed the stage.
They
knocked
knocked the stage down. And that was real.
Stampede.
No, then we throw money. That's what we did. We started throwing that money out, and they bum us the stage and knocked the stage
That was
down.
Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
Kane was just coming out because that's when we just met them. You know?
Right.
Knocked the stage
That was
down,
decent.
man.
Yeah.
Chi Ali was there.
Yeah.
God damn. Who remember him?
Listen, I'm never forgetting. It was some girl. They like, Ice, your cousin hurt. Your cousin hurt. And that chick came over left, and I'm like, I don't know her, man.
The Greeks was
Yeah, Creek was that work though.
we performed all the time on Greek weekends and Pimp Relays.
Remember, it wasn't a show.
I remember
we
that.
It wasn't a show we
I
couldn't get
remember
on with Charlie. Plus, Charlie would put us on the spot.
Yeah.
We show up. Before we know it, we
Big
got five.
show.
We got 5 to 10
We ain't
minutes.
take no boy.
I got your dad with y'all. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we up on stage. Boom.
Like downtime, all that downtime talking. That's
Yo,
our time. Give us that.
It was so many people around.
Until
There
today.
was some type of way that they ain't get on that.
Listen, until today, I say this loud and proud. Performance-wise, Michael Jackson and your boys. Nobody.
Some might argue, but y'all wrong.
Period.
Michael Jackson than us.
Like performing on stage, that's what we specialize in. You know, we practice.
That's funny.
We get out there, boom.
You say that, so
everything.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Who were you guys? The first label that you guys were signed to?
A&M.
Shout out to Evan Foster, the Foster brothers.
We was with Teddy Riley first, but then we signed with A&M Records.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Okay, how did the Teddy Riley affiliation come upon?
Daryl Shore.
Well, technically,
we
were signed to
we went
Charlie
down to
Mack
Atlanta.
Records. We're taking
We went to a Jack the Rapper down in Atlanta. If y'all don't remember Jack the Rapper, that was years ago and shit.
We
Daryl,
did
we went,
history, man.
yeah, well, Daryl was down there with Teddy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And Daryl Shore, that's our big bro from, you know, of course, you know where he is. Got with Teddy, hyped him up, you know, came back to Philly. He sent Daryl to come get us. Said, Teddy won't fuck with y'all. Come to y'all.
We rapped for him in the hotel in Atlanta at the Jack the Rapper. We had a song called Stutter Style. We stutter when we rap and do you dig me. And we blew his mind. Then it was a chick next to him that was just like, every line we said, she's smiling and so hyped up. And that was Lisa Ray. Before she was Lisa Ray.
Wow.
Listen, that's another thing too. So we actually was cool with them before that time.
Ice and bread is like this.
Yeah. I call her Sean. I ain't seeing her much, but man, her was tight.
She was down Jack the Rapper trying to get signed. That's how she got signed down there.
But big shout to Teddy. That's our bro. That's our big brother right there.
Early in the game,
Yes, sir.
hit single across the airwaves. Everybody was singing it. It became a slogan. It was a Philly thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, growing up, that's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? Early in the game. You know what I'm saying? It was something that everybody, you know, recognized that was Naam Brigade. You know what I'm saying? How did that song come about, and what was the process of putting it out?
Right. Well, that song came about at the tail end of our album because we recorded most of it in Cali.
Okay.
Then that Cali life was getting to us. I ain't gonna lie. Palm trees. It felt like you already won.
It's beautiful out there.
Yeah. It was we eating, getting
Drinking
fat.
Malibu Bay breezes and wearing.
It just was too much. You know what I'm saying?
Marina watches.
So we said, let's get back home and get the grip. You know what I'm saying? So when we came back home, we did Early in the Game, and you know we had this extensive history with Freeway. So
Right.
that's a little bro. So he showed up. At that time, Troy Carter was involved as far as management is concerned. He was managing Freeway and Eve at the time. So he pulled that together, and we did that down Rashid Wilder's studio. And the crazy part about that, the day that we was doing that particular record, Meek Millz from our group, somebody came in, and what they say, fellas, y'all can finish that.
They're like, yo, the cops down the way looking for you. They talking about you killed somebody. You're like, what? We ain't even recording. Like, what the hell's going on?
So it was a lot going on at that particular time that record was getting recorded. We finished the session and take him home and listen, cops outside the car. So, I mean, cops had the surveillance on his crib, so it was real. We thought it was, the way he played it off, we didn't even think it was real. But it was real.
Yeah, the cops was like, us doing the album, we had to fly back to Cali. They was at the airport like with binoculars, newspapers, like thinking he coming with us.
Right.
Like to travel, and they coming to our crib. I remember they came to my crib. My mom like, I don't know that little boy. You know what I mean? My mom like, what? It was like coming, they really was like following us. Like we had to shoot that video in Jersey City. That broke my heart because our first big video wanted to be home, but we couldn't because they were looking for him at the time. So we had to sneak to Jersey City. But somehow they came again and was like, we know y'all was up in Jersey, but we got there too late. We're like, wow.
What's going through y'all mind when that's happening?
We start with you. So what's going through
You
your
went
mind?
to my mom with what?
When with the cop situation.
Hey man, it's crazy. Y'all just was talking about it now, and I was just thinking about the movie. That's how I look. It was like a movie to me. When you look at it, like you said, you go to the airport, you got cops. Listen, I said, listen, the cops is right there, whoever, they right there looking at us in the binoculars, that gold car.
And I gave them a middle finger. I was like this. They're like,
They ain't do that.
Cause I did do that. They didn't think we knew because I remember them at the crib, but they at the airport.
Yeah, all right.
Now I'm about to be all in your business, or in your pockets. How much did you guys sign for as a group?
Or with that,
In totality, what the
Total.
whole
with that-
budget was for?
with that
Oh, hold on.
Let's go to the first record deal.
First record deal. Back then, those they opened up different budgets at the time.
Okay.
So you start with a recording budget. Your recording budget at that time might be like $350, or if they want to send you back in, they add some more money to it. Then after that, they open up the marketing budget. You understand what I'm saying? Then you get your advance. Back then, we got a little light money back then.
I was about to say, what's the
advance?
Because if you talking about a budget, you gotta remember. Well, hold on. Which deal we talking about?
He said A&M first. He started with that.
Yeah, of course, that was like it's back then.
That was kid money, but the production, as far as the recording,
was big
side
boy.
of it.
Everything else was big boy. Like we ain't get made super crazy advance.
Now let me ask you something. You said the recording budget was $350,000.
Yeah, usually around that much.
So if you guys, say for instance, you guys recorded something, y'all went to Joe Blow and you know recorded it there, and you didn't spend the full amount, where do that money go, and where did that money go?
Well, as we wait.
I mean, you can answer it.
But back then, in the early 90s, it wasn't the Joe Blows. We were trying to get the top.
No, but this the thing. This the thing though. This the thing though. It could go somewhere. So they got this thing called padding. If you wanted to pad some money,
that's what I was.
It could have cost $300,000 to record and shit, and it only cost $20,000. You could do that. We really couldn't. First of all, we was young, you know what I mean. But we really wasn't looking at it like that. We wanted to be in them big boy studios.
Right.
Like we song makers. You gotta remember, we song makers back then.
Well, you already know, like you said, when you got a budget, they create numbers for the folks. You know what I mean? That's how it go. You know what I mean?
Now early in the game, done took off,
Wow.
right? Like I say, y'all crossed the waves.
Now you back to Naam.
Yeah.
That was Task Force we was talking about. Now we back to Naam, just for clarification.
Okay, yep. So early in the game is out there. I got a single. Y'all traveling. Obviously, it's a group.
Mm-hmm.
When it come to shows, how do that fee is broke down between you guys?
Well, when we had, it was always 33.
Okay.
And third.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that get broke.
That's funny. What made you ask that question?
Because no, I'm gonna answer that. The reason why, because you had groups back in the day. I don't see a group, today. You know what I'm saying? So back then you had TLC, you had you guys, you had the Figures, you had all of them. You know what I'm saying? So I will always wonder, if it's like 5 to 6 people in a group or whatever, how is that money broken down?
Let me break that down one more time too. So understand that the breakdown come from worth. First of all, I want you to think about it. If we all get a percentage, we get right. Our percentage should be locked in, right? And that's just say if you add on some people, we got a squad. They probably won't get what we get, but they're gonna get something. So it's gonna break down. So you gonna understand what you're supposed to get for the show. So if you got 100%, we taking, let's say we taking 70, and then you got a few others that's gonna break down to 30. It has to be like that because if we the main, first of all, we don't need nobody on stage.
Right.
But you want everybody to eat.
Right.
So the percentage would just be what you worth. I would think because some might get paid for nothing fucking with us, and some might want to just be there.
But I say we was ahead of the game as far as merchandise is concerned. So we was selling CDs, T-shirts, and that was straight cash, extra cash. Everywhere we went, we sold out.
Yeah.
And we was on the first, it was 37 cities from the rep.
That's
LL.
Yeah. That's in touring is work.
Who's some of the people that y'all shared the same stage with?
Everybody.
You ain't got
I'm
enough
about to say, I
time.
can't even, that's too much. Yeah.
Everybody. And sometimes it's a little disappointing that a lot of those guys are still working, right? And here in our own town, even with some of the promoters and all that, sometimes it just seems like they just gloss over our work. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of unfinished business, man, because we put that work in. And we toured and we rep the shit out of Philly. Philadelphia, understand that. As my man said, come on Philly, come on Philly, come on Philly. We was the ones waving the Philly flag since Task Force, when people used to laugh at Philly rappers.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Philly can't
For,
rap. Like,
for,
what?
for those doors to be open, you know, and I'm going to say it, we the ones that was kicking the shit out that door to open that door. And now you sit back and you see how other rappers is coming through and flourishing. But you know that you was one of the first ones sledgehammering that door, for sure.
You guys came in, for me, my personal perspective, you guys came in at a great time when music culturally in a whole was fun to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? You know, before everybody wanted to be a boss and dress like a boss, everybody used to dress like rappers. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Image was important. Like what you had, your look, you know, how you dress. Remember, we used to have the chains.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, like, and like when you had your look uniform, that's how it was back then. You knew we had the Dickies on. You know what I mean? This is late 80s, early 90s. We had the Dickies on.
Well, it definitely was image. And as he said, the chains, you know, we wore the chains first.
Right.
You know, when we was
You gotta tell me what changed.
going to get signed to Flavor Unit at a time.
Shout out to Queen Latifah.
Absolutely. Tretch, Shot Kim, the whole gang. We wore chains around our waist with padlocks. That came from us. Then we got to say something for the documentary, but I'm going to skip through. Once that kind of fell through, Tretch saw us at the 93 Jack the Rapper, and he said, what do this stand for? He said, our niggas on lockdown. A couple weeks later, he got the joint on. It's on. Put it on his neck. It's on. Yeah. So when you see that legendary chain going around the world till today.
Just look at one of our old Task Force logos.
Came from
Task
the
Force
boys.
with a pirate, and there's a chain with a padlock around it.
Yeah, that came from
We got
us.
receipts.
Absolutely.
I got a question.
Serious as cancer. Let's go. Yeah.
This thing called fame, you know, and I'm just gonna stick to your era and your success. When you guys was out there on the road, fame comes with jealousy. It comes with envy. It comes with a lot of cutthroat, you know what I'm saying, levels.
Most of the 7 deadly sins.
How did you guys, when did that occur, let me ask you, to you guys?
We can all answer that in our own way. You can start going.
You talking about like jealousy and envy coming and stuff. Oh, I mean, you know, when you out on the road, you gotta pay attention because there's wolves out there, and we coming from that. We can pick up on it because we moved how we move. We move like soldiers. Because when you think people love you, they don't love you. You know what I mean? They had, when we was on the Paid in Full tour, they had a stick-up crew that robbed all the rappers that come into town in a certain city. I ain't gonna say the city, but that city, that's how people be. That's why you gotta move right out on the road. They come for you. Like it's going on now, you know, things happen with rappers. It just wasn't seen with the social media, but it was going down. You had to move right.
Well, there was a lot of jealousy and envy close, very close to us. I think that was probably part of the reason that hindered our success. In hindsight, we should have worried about ourselves. We put a lot of people on. They ain't really understand the game. You understand what I'm saying? So they was easily manipulated and infiltrated. But we was the prize. And we was bringing guys along that didn't understand it. Then they seeing our lifestyle and how we getting treated with the labels. And then a lot of cutthroat little slice and dice things was happening at the time, you know. So jealousy and envy is just a part of it. But it's just a part of the game.
You don't even need a tour or do music or anything that.
You get that just hustling in the hood, just being you.
You just be you.
Coming. You getting the girls. Somebody mad. You can play ball.
I tell you what,
they mad.
You definitely gotta be careful on the road, man. Your presence, it means everything.
It means a lot.
You know what I mean? And you know, you come this street niggas talking like it ain't where you from, it's where you at. You lunch and you get got. You know what I mean? If you ain't on point, shit can happen.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be militant sometimes and just be on your vibe. That was us.
Yourself,
that was us most of the time. So we really went out with a couple of our FOI homies. They kept us on point. You know what I mean? We was the stars. They had a rough one with us because they like these motherfuckers. But at the same time, the only reason why they on our team is because we need y'all to keep us on point. So we moved accordingly. You know what I mean? We ain't play the bullshit. We hit one spot to A to B. You know what I mean? You can party later at the hotel. We ain't invite people to the hotels and none of that shit. We was just on our shit. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a place and time for everything. And that's just the tip we was on.
And we always discuss times, move out times.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. At this time, boom, we here, we gone.
Listen, that used to be some shit. Move motherfuckers like, damn, I done made the roll. Like, I made the roll up. Yeah. I got roll. Like, shit, you got roll. Shit getting crazy.
Chilling back with a check, all that stuff. You coming. You not by shorty. You ain't coming.
And on some real shit, that's, like I said, tour life is work. Some nights we had to roll. Like, something. We had to be in another city by a show by a certain time, but you might have an interview on a morning show, something like that. So you gotta leave
in stores.
Yup, all types of shit. That shit was where you didn't get no sleep.
I remember when we was touring with 50, and I seen him in the gym, and he was exhausted from the tour. And this was when he just was charting. He showed me the book. He like, I just beat R. Kelly this week on the charts. He said, I'm tired of shit today, man. He said, they gonna get like 70% at the show. I said, no, nigga, give him 100. He said, give him 100. I'm like, yeah, give him 100. You know what I'm saying?
How was it on those tours? No. Which one of y'all was the wild person on the tour?
I'll get that to him.
So give me a backdrop. A typical day on the tour, you guys waking up and things like that in a different city.
I wanted to go to the hood, you know what I mean, see what it's like in the most dangerous spots out there, because you're just out in the world, you know what I mean, like going here, going to the mall. I remember we used to do shows and security used to be like, yo, don't go near the crowd, man, they're gonna do this, and I do it, and get shirts ripped, this, that, getting ready to argue with gang dudes, stepping to people, like I was just, I was just in the moment.
Right.
Just wilding out.
After he used to be shook to come on stage, though. He always was nervous as shit before
my
the
anxiety used to get me, you know what I mean?
But once he got over that, he was cool.
Oh,
but in the crowd, all that.
A normal day, what I'll tell you is, we was so professional. Like we boys that did everything right. Show up early for the sound check, on time for stage show. Not running over on stage time. I mean, we are the ultimate professionals when it comes to the game.
Season, because we've done it so much, and then when it was time, like I was telling you earlier about getting in the league. Right. When you get into the league, now can you make the country like you? Doing the mixtapes in Philly, the neighborhood stuff, shows here, yeah. Now do the world mess with you? And that's why I was telling you earlier about going to another city and they know your record.
And I want to say this. Everybody tap into early in the game, the album. That was a hell of a piece of work, man.
Yes, sir. I agree.
It's out right now.
But life, like we went through a lot of real life stuff that people don't know. Like you're looking now, like what happened to them, and they this, that. Like we went through some real serious stuff, like life stuff. Traumatizing.
Well, all the things that
a lot of deaths.
All the things that was back in the day, quote unquote, cool. We was experiencing.
Right.
Indictments, deaths. Loved ones passing away. I lost my wife. You understand what I'm saying? And that was more recent than a lot of the other things that we was going through. That so-called street life.
Right.
caught up at a point, you know what I mean, around us in our neighborhood. So, but, you know, we still here. You can't cry over spilled milk, you know. You got to wipe the tears and keep pushing, man.
Yeah.
This is decades of hard work right here.
Because his wife was my cousin, and we grew up like sister and brother, so it affected him, it affected me, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you, Sonny, you know, I can't imagine, you know, losing my wife, man, you know what I'm saying? And my heart go out to you and your family, bro. How is it like, and still, how is it dealing with that?
It's still a disbelief that I think keep me going. You know, it's just still, I don't think you can ever, when you was that close to somebody, you can never like just accept it or believe it. I don't believe it. To the day, I don't believe it, even though reality-wise you have to.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But I think you just hold, at the while you hold on to the good memory, man. You know what I'm saying? And you see the strength of your kids. You know, they still, you know, holding their head high, and they make me proud. You know what I'm saying? Because they still thriving, and so you know that work that you put in them early years paid off, and that her presence is still here.
Right.
It's still living. But the hard part is one of the people that you wanted to do all of this for and share it with is gone. That's rough.
If she was watching this right now, what would be some of the words that she'll tell you directly?
Look at Russell getting mushy.
You better fucking take care of them kids, Dana.
Yeah.
Y'all better get it. It's time.
She was the life of the party.
But it is time. It is time for us to go, to put the bow on this, man. We've been doing this a long time.
Right.
A long time. And we've been recreating our years decade after decade after decade. And look at us, man. Boys look good, man.
We've been we've been
Boys
here
look
doing
good.
selling music. It might not be on your radar, but we've been selling music, selling merch, doing everything, shows, everything.
Q, one of the members, Q Don, passed away. I'm gonna let you guys elaborate, you know, on you know what happened and things like that. I'm gonna start with you. You know, when you got the news, where were you? And, you know, what was going through your mind at that time? And then we just go in the line.
Oh, when I got the news, we were standing Lincoln Green up 69 Avenue.
Okay.
And his brother, Dark Maul, who was in the crew, Cognac, was banging on the door. So, you know, we thinking it's the guy, like, yo, because it's like 2-something in the morning. Like, don't. So I peek out the joint. I see they face like sad. So I open the door. I'm like, what happened, man? They like, Q just got killed. I'm like, what? I'm like, y'all crazy. They're like, yo, he out in the parking lot right now. So I'm thinking like it's be something. So I called Sonny. I'm like, yo, Dark Maul and Cognac is right here, like crying like, yo, Ray just got killed. Sonny hung up on me. Click. I called back. He like, yo, Beezy, you play too much. I'm like, Black. They said Ray is dead in the losers parking lot.
What's going through your head at that moment?
Like, my mind was just like, I can't believe it. I'm like, no, because we just was all together. Me, him, and Sonny, he's like, yo, he like, I'm going to the studio. Sonny like, I'm going home because we going on tour the next day. And so Ray didn't go, he went to the studio, but something they had, so they went to Evolutions like, let's just party here. And I'm like, he said he wasn't going there. And then that happened. Straight bullet there. In the parking lot, these guys robbing some people over there. You know, they robbing them. You know, after they get the stuff, the person run instead of just you got their stuff run. They start dumping at him, and the straight bullet hit him. He getting the girl phone number. Like too sick to have him.
You know, he was doing the interview. Remember he took that picture.
With Sad Sinatra, right?
No, it was a magazine there.
No, I remember the picture.
That pulled them. They pulled him out because it was too loud inside, and they asked him to come outside to do an interview. He did the interview, took the picture. So for me, it was crazy because at that time we were signed to Elektra Records. So We worked on the album for 7.5 months. We finished the album on a Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, he died. But what I would say is that, you know, I'm gonna save some of it.
What was going through your mind when I called you?
It's like you said, disbelief. I was so in shock that my man Jahad came and got me and took me down to the site. And the whole ride, I didn't believe it because nothing showed that somebody just died. You know, everything was calm still. And then I remember getting up there and he still was there. Still, you know. It's totally unbelievable. He was a good soul, man. I just think he was a spirit. You know, he was an angel.
He had great energy. He was like,
oh man, I'm telling you, man,
he had great energy.
Wow. You know what? You know what? I will say this. Watch what you say. Always think about what you say before you say it.
Yeah.
And I would say that because he mentioned that to me. I won't go into detail about exactly what he said, but we had that conversation.
And he had a song called
And
When I Died.
it wasn't long after that it happened. Rest in peace, Q, boy, we love you, baby.
Losing Q, how did that shift the group?
Yeah, that put us like, we was like...
Got released.
Yeah, from Elektra.
And
then that's when we, the spirit was, that's when we shifted to do that mixtape, that Soul 20, that green CD.
Right.
To do that, even though we was down and out, like when we did that mixtape, Sunday was gone. You know what I mean? Like mentally, you know what I mean? So it was like we did it, and all of a sudden that was known to be our classic.
You gotta remember, it was an album that had Eve, Missy, Timbaland on it. It never came out to the world. That was some of our best work. So a lot of the unfulfillment that we feel is because the work never came out.
That's what the All I Need record was on that album.
Lights, Camera, Action. All of that's there.
All right, y'all jumping the gun. Hold up.
All right.
All right.
Put the 9 milli back on my... Hold up. Yeah.
I mean, you know, losing anybody that you close to, man, you know, mentally it could, you know, bring some type of, you know what I'm saying, like it could just really, you know, damage you as a person. It could determine if you're gonna be strong enough to move forward, or it could have you stuck right there where you at. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you guys, you know, it hurt it, but you guys continue to, you know, keep pushing on.
Yeah, that time it was because Ice was on house arrest. There was a lot going on, man.
Yeah, definitely was.
You mentioned Elektra.
Yeah.
Is Elektra still around?
I don't think so.
Got cut off.
Sylvia Rome's still around because that's who was the president, CEO.
Okay.
She's still around, but that was funny. But she, but I don't think Elektra is still there. You know, Buster was on Elektra.
Right.
Missy. Wasn't Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson was on there, yeah.
Yeah, she left A&M and went to
Right. So they was all our label mates at the time.
Yeah.
Janet was our label mate on A&M. We was following her.
How was your stay there?
Where? With Elektra?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was listen, it was us, State Property, Major Figures, and Ram Squad. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we was heavy at that time. That was a major label with a major push coming behind it. And then it just got swept right from under us. And actually, after Q9 passed, we had a white label that was out. So imagine going back to the label and your first test the white label record, that's what they call it back then, all the records that's going to go across the country to all the DJs. We got boxes stacked up that's going to go out to the... So it's just like you right there and then it's snatched from under.
but people didn't get that work, so they looking at it like, how them dudes saying they legendary? It's like that work would have came out.
Would have came out.
And them stuff would have came out. You know, you would have seen it. You know, shout out to AI coming to Ray funeral. That's my guy.
Did you guys ever feel like the industry left you behind?
What you think? So we gonna go this way.
That was a good one, Sonny. But he said, you think, but I think the engine, hold on, say, you said what?
Do you think that the industry left you behind?
I won't use left us. I would say we fell back
Okay.
too much. You know what I mean? And you can't leave us. First of all, I want you to understand something. We was ahead of the industry. That was something, and that's not a good thing. Cause too far ahead means you just too far ahead. You know what I mean? You really gotta be in that mix to where you can catch, people can catch you, people can feel you. We were so ahead of the game that it was just too much for people. People look at it like that's hot, but it just was too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as far as the industry leaving us, I think, like I said, when the game switched and the internet started coming in and you started talking about yourself and started telling what you do, that's just was something we wasn't with.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you my every move and what I'm eating or what's going on. We just wasn't into that. But at the same time, like I always say this is a game.
Right.
This internet, this whole thing is a game. And if you ain't with playing it, you probably will fall out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you gonna play it, we'd be the superstars in it. That's something we just had to realize through time. Because still at this time, you still look at shit and be like, man, you telling on yourself. You still look at it like that, but they look at it like, no, this the game. The views going up, they getting paid, and they safe, and they comfortable with being, with looking like how they look. That's just some shit.
When you ain't used to something,
yeah.
and then you gotta do it, you be like, I ain't doing that because you ain't used to doing. Like talking on camera, you can do an interview, but people be telling their business.
I mean, you think about people were getting locked up from the internet. Like, and not only getting locked up, you know that the internet can get you locked up and still doing it.
Yeah. But when people finally realized it was always happening, back then it was the DVDs. So on DVDs, guys spoke a lot, and that shit got played in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? And then you know when you was in the dance for real in the streets, and that was the blessing with us that we ain't never had to lead with our street stories because we rich in those as well.
Yeah.
Very rich. But we can just keep it straight industry and life because our lives were so interesting and fun filled and adventurous that we don't even have to tap into that as much. But at some point we will.
Oh, the question that you asked. Like,
Yeah.
I
Niggas
felt
be
it
zoning up, bro.
It was like that because it wasn't used to talking on camera.
Right.
And then slowly but surely got into it, and then you can't keep me off that motherfucker. I mean, because he learned to do it, to benefit from it. Like, I won't get on there and be just cooning, acting crazy, like just starting beefs and just saying wild stuff. I'm still got dignity. But I do it to be seen and entertain people because it's entertaining.
Bottom line, you have to do it.
Yeah, you gotta entertain, but I won't do no.
And I'm not gonna front. Pride play a part in all that shit. Cause I know my pride played a part in this whole internet shit. For real, I'm a TV nigga. I'm fun, sense of humor. I got everything, all the attributes to be the fuck on TV. And don't use it. All because I'm like, you know, you just think like that's not, you wasn't supposed to be on there like that. Now it's the game. I need to be on it. So I'm telling you now, my pride is out the window. I'm doing all the shit I'm doing.
Just ain't talking reckless, like just
no reckless.
Getting on here, just dissing somebody. Now you gonna tell the truth if you feel a way about somebody. Like, yo, this what happened with me and that person, but ain't doing it to get, you know, go viral or
I can talk about
somebody.
anybody if I'm not disrespecting them. Like you can give off, like you said, the truth. Yeah, it's my opinion.
Opinion is an opinion. But people are so goddamn sensitive now.
I was just about to say something like that.
Even over opinion, but you know what? Listen, what we talk, we standing on.
Right.
And
now,
listen, that's what I. Yeah.
Moving forward,
yeah.
You guys lost Q. You had an additional person that you added as a member by the name of Meek Millz. Not to confuse it by Meek Mill, but Meek Millz. How was that, gearing them up to become a member of Naam Brigade, and what was that like for you guys?
Well, he was there at the time of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
He was like a young guy in our neighborhood that, listen, we influenced a lot of people. And he rapped and he wanted to get with us. And like I told you earlier, we ain't never had a problem putting somebody on.
Right.
Put somebody in position. But we, like I said, we very professional. So we gave him, we was doing the mixtape at the time.
the black one.
So we gave him a time to be on the corner. If he want to go, he was there. He came. And then he did his thing.
He got busy.
Yeah, he did his thing. He made a home for us.
And it was like, in the family now. Because he was a rapper from the neighborhood. He had his own crew, but they were younger than us. So our homie Doc kept bothering me and Sonny, like, yo, put him on. So we like, all right, we're going to mixtape, bring him. Like Sonny said, the corner, he was there. And he went in the booth and set it on fire. And then that's when
the people responded to him. So
yeah.
It was a no-brainer after that.
Jay-Z had an album called Blueprint. It was a song on there called All I Need. Am I correct?
Yeah.
It was controversial over that, and still to this day, you guys, the originators of that song, am I correct?
Absolutely.
Can you give me a backstory of that?
Backstory that would be, we recorded this record in VA, producer Bink. P.D. Crack was actually at the session with us. He went down there with us. And this was before he was with the Rock.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to P.D. P.D. got the Q9 tat on his arm. That's how locked in we was at that time. We recorded that record. And that was going to be like the first single off the Elektra album. And they loved it. Rockefeller loved it because Jay Brown was the connection. Jay Brown was our A&R, but Jay Brown is the, I think he's the president of Rock Nation now. So that was like a whole little brother. So he used to come to the sessions and everything. There was an A&R guy named Hip Hop at the time. They loved that record. That was a record that they loved, and then when Q9 passed, we had bags of Skittles that everybody came for. And I like to say that to this day it's an honor though. That's hope. We ain't gonna slight that. But what that say about us?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Put some respect on our name, man. Period.
Did Jay-Z ever give you any recognition of it, or like did he ever contact you guys and salute you or say thank you, things like that?
Yeah, at that time he reached out. We got the business handled at some point, but it was actually, the album was actually already out. But then they came back and had the relationship with Jay Brown, because now we was, at that point, we was on Artist Direct doing a whole nother album. So we bounced back after the Elektra album. So he did reach out to have a conversation, but at that time, he wanted to kind of directly talk to us, but those calls was, some people stepped in front of that call, which is cool. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, he reached out, for sure.
Did you guys receive any type of publishing or anything from his record, All I Need?
Absolutely, to the day. Yeah, and checks still rolling, for sure. Yeah.
That's a flex. I don't care what you say. That's a flex.
Ain't no
you know
doubt.
what I'm saying? That's a flex.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We always flex on the board. Flex on her.
We're not just gonna make it nonchalant. Yo,
No.
we still receive a check. We're not gonna do that.
Nah, I mean, the thing about that record is that's the longevity right there.
Right.
Hove ever sell his catalog, man, that's a pretty penny. Even if we ain't in existence no more, somebody, a family member, can get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. Sure.
Speaking of Jay-Z, it was a time that a lot of Philadelphia artists were going to New York. They was getting their shine from New York. They was getting their deals from New York. They was affiliating themselves with New York. You guys didn't do that.
We got our deal from Cali.
That's a different
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
We ain't had no piggybacks.
I'm glad
We
you
ain't had
said
no piggybacks, man.
everything we did always was from the
If
muscle.
we did have a piggyback, then you never know. We'd probably be doing this interview, or we probably better had it, or we'd be doing it somewhere else. Hopefully.
But that's a big difference. And not
Right.
to slight nobody here,
Yeah.
but everybody had an easier path because they already had an established icon. Those doors was already open. If you think about it, Eve with Rough Riders,
Mm-hmm.
she got DMX, you know. So that path is, you know, he was larger than life at the time.
Right.
And even though she held her own, and she was actually on the original Ice Came in Action record with us too.
Okay.
When she, what y'all niggas was so Platinum Eve was on that record that never came out, but she had that easier path. I'm not saying it to take away from her work, but when you got somebody with a door wide open already, and then you think about when Beans, even though he held it down, but they would Rockefeller, Def Jam.
Right.
Come on, the politics is there. You know what I mean?
Our piggyback, people just didn't know who he was because he was behind the scenes. Ted
Right.
Phillips, he was a billionaire. So they go by the face that you see on TV, yes, but we had a guy who started Interscope Records.
You do your homework on Ted Phillips.
You know what I mean? But to the eye, it's like, whoever's a star, they gonna follow. Like, oh, that person's down with that person. You know how that is.
Well, you know the real money don't want to be known and seen anyway.
And do you guys feel like, let me ask you this question, let me rephrase this. Looking back, can you identify certain mistakes that you guys made that you're paying for it today?
I think all of us can answer that, but whoever wants to start, I'll dive in.
I'm gonna use a different terminology. So whatever was destined for you was destined for you. So of course you got mistakes you made. You probably wouldn't do things. You probably wouldn't do things like how you used to. But paying for them, that's the wrong word, because no matter what I went through, I am who I am right now. Cause you know what I mean. And I'm not paying for anything. You learn from that shit. So I first of all, great mistakes. You know what I mean? Like you learn from them. I got better from them. So I ain't gonna say I'm paying for them. I tell you what, you can preach and teach people when young is not to make them same mistakes right now. So I'm not paying for them. It actually was a blessing for somebody else.
That's dope. I would say we was, back then, squads stuck to themselves. But we had opportunities and people opened doors for us to network a little more, but we didn't really open ourselves up to it. Like when we was on tour with Cameron, Nori, and MOP, I said we missed moments. You know, we even in the video, we didn't go to the video. What was that?
Lil John.
To the window, to the wall.
Yeah, he called us down there to go.
He told us to go and stay #1 on BET for months. He said, "Come, I got y'all.
That's a
I'm
shot.
giving y'all a shot."
Money shot.
Is it Life? Is it name Life?
Life, yeah. We missed it. You understand what I'm saying? Cameron, Nori, MOP. The show finale in Chicago. Where my Naam niggas at? This Cameron. Where my Naam niggas at? Spotlight on us, we in the balcony. They got barrels, they popping, boom, show, wrap up. We like, no, we good. You know what I'm saying? So in hindsight, just moments that I don't regret, because it was times, that was just the time that we was living in. And when you think back, you know what it could have done for you at the time.
Shout out to Capone. I just saw Capone. He was just hype about it. So shout out to Capone. What's up, G?
Yeah, Capone.
What's up, Uncle Nori? Yeah, just in.
And for the record, go ahead.
No,
For the record, with Nori too, with the drink champs and all that, he definitely is a fucking drink champ because he stole our bottle of Henny on the paid in full tour.
Yeah.
Hey, Nori.
Early game.
Never let that go.
Early game, Passon had our bottle and just disappeared.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he danced out with that.
Danced
joint.
out.
He came in dancing, then danced out with that motherfucker. We thought it was his bottle.
Yeah, because we didn't know that my brother set the bottle on the table and walked away. So when we came up, it was already there. He come back, he like, yo, where the bottle go? We like, that was ours? Like, no, he came and got that joint. Danced out the door.
Danced out the door.
Yeah. So, and whether he remembered it or not, you still owe that.
This was, well, I know that I don't know for a fact he don't remember taking that shit.
Oh, here we go.
But listen, the funny thing about Nori, Ice, Sonny Black, BZ, Rambo, whatever, he called us all early in the game.
Yeah.
Just go up to each one. What's up early in the game?
What's up?
Just
Early
early in the
game,
game.
what's up? You my early
Funny
game
as shit.
niggas.
But I give him much respect, Capone and Nori, because it was a situation on that tour where we was gonna go through something with the King, and they fixed it. You know what I'm saying? They brought their guy to us the next day to our bus, brought him on. We was able to hash it out. He was a goon. But we had the goons with us too and ourselves too.
It just was a situation that wasn't supposed to happen.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
No, I remember, listen, Nori came out this early in the game, ain't none of that shit going on.
Ain't none of that
and
shit.
we not doing that. It's
Yup.
family. Ain't
Yup.
none of that shit going on.
Yup.
That's what I mean about the internet. If the internet had moments where we end shit, not really end shit, I'm talking about the moments of us.
Right.
If we had that, we would bridge the gap to this motherfucker so easy. I mean, we did crazy big boy shit at times when you couldn't do it. You know what I mean? That was the best part about it. That's what made us us. First of all, we had the stage performance, you already knew that. But we got in the doors where you couldn't get in. That's what Charlie Mack, Big Bro played the part in. We was on a mission, we hit everywhere. Listen, I don't want to say this because I ain't even with that Paul shit anyway, but Charlie, we went to fucking, he made us rap for Keith Sweat in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Remember that shit? Yeah.
Keith Sweat.
Yeah.
Keith Sweat, God damn, man.
Yeah.
Shouts to Charlie Mack.
Let's
We was rapping for everybody, man.
let's
We was
we
on a mission.
we jump
Yo,
on
all-
tables.
Yo, we ran up on
Table.
Suge. Yo, we ran up. Listen, you
Yeah.
talking about niggas that don't give a fuck.
Suge.
First of all, this is what I mean about. This is what you mean about not understanding how shit is. We in our moment. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
We trying to win.
And he respected that shit. We went up on him like nigga. He like, well, rap.
Oh,
I remember
my
he went up to
goodness.
Tyson too. He went up to Tyson. He said, you know, I rap. So Tyson was like, well, rap then, rap. He like, rap. You know, all right.
Suge was like, motherfuckers don't usually walk up on me.
Man,
This dumb
he
broke that
respected
for
the
a
shit
while.
out of that shit.
He said, but you know what? Come, he wrote his room number down. He said, come to this room number at this certain time.
8:30 sharp.
We passed that joke. We told Charlie, yo, we got Suge number 6. I said, Charlie said, shit, I ain't fucking with motherfucking Suge.
Oh,
Like we rap for anybody, man. Like
was
to
in
get
it.
on, we was rapping like and killing them too.
Yeah.
do you guys believe that how artists, no, let me ask this question. Do you still believe in artist development?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's needed.
I mean, I think we gonna believe that because that's the era. Right now, you want to keep it real. It's no artist development. It's actually by chance and what do you call a hit or what do you call development now? Because these people just don't social
Right.
media
The numbers
shit go
look
viral.
right.
So it's a
You don't need
difference.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The sad part about that is, but I don't think it's sad because they won it. But when you look at it and you can just see all the flaws in the artist still, and you be like, they winning, but if they tightened up a few things, the heights that they can go to will be tremendous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to hear
But that
anything.
artistry not there anymore.
No, it ain't even, and you can't even say nothing to nobody no more.
And I was getting ready to say that because a motherfucker, how can I school somebody
You've
with
been
a
on
million
you know
hits?
what you talking
Yeah.
about, you know what I'm saying?
But how can you school somebody that get a million hits a day
That's like
on a bullshit they done?
That's like the last year Roots picnic, and I seen Nas, and Nas one of my guys. And I'm like, Nas, you not doing the records that these people want. I'm in the crowd. I wanted to, and me, if I seen him, I would have told him. Whether he accepted that or not, I said, who the fuck is this dude?
Like, nah, you got.
But I'm a performer. I'm telling you, what are you doing? You doing mixtape shit? No, do the hits, man. You loaded with the hits. Let's go.
Do you feel like artists need artist development today?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about, like you just said, like it's a number game. It's a popularity game.
Like, let me answer this one more time. I always think it's gonna need it, right? But this is where it changed that. If the radio playing shit that they don't have any artist development on it, it's still cracking, then they gonna follow accordingly. I'm talking about everybody. People don't understand. I want you to understand this. Listen to this. We hit makers. But the best part about us is not the music, it's the show. When you see us perform, it's that's everybody. It's not everybody, all the stars and celebrities you wanna call that we've been around back in the day, they all thought we was gonna blow the fuck up. Everybody. That's the hype of us. They thought this whole shit was gonna happen. We had everything with us except the piggyback. And I got, I ain't gonna get too deep into that. We could have had piggybacks, we just didn't.
Right.
We had it.
It just ain't work out.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And we were strong enough where we didn't need one.
But I tell you this, we understand the system now.
Mm-hmm.
Break that down for me.
We understand what it takes in today's time. You understand what I'm saying? How powerful that phone is. Shout out to Wild drills that. How powerful that phone is. Yeah. And being comfortable. Because it all starts from there. Yeah.
I was just ready to say it. Yeah. My pride is out the window because you realize what holds you back is most of the time is yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Pride makes you a fool.
Absolutely.
And there's no perfect time.
Let me tell you something about Naam. So we never asked nobody for shit. You know what I mean? We didn't even offer. We didn't offer something so people can offer us something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We just was. We got it.
You always had that.
But that's the thing. That's the thing that's fucked up though, because our attitude. It's nothing wrong with being like this. It's only good if you're gonna utilize it right. If we utilizing everything we need from this right, then you want people to come to you and offer you help, and you want people to look at you like you need help. Sometimes people look at you and be like, they don't need no help, they cool.
Right.
You know, so they don't offer it to us. Right. And they just look at it like, for us, and our pride to be like,
man, coming from an aggressive neighborhood. Down there, it's 30 dudes on the corner fighting for one cell, so you always being aggressive, so you like, but it shouldn't have been that way though.
But I will say we took, because of some of the things we went through hell as far as politics. Even that name situation, that was a dark time for us.
It was like, we know y'all Naam Brigade, and that was that
dark time.
If somebody knew how coming.
And there's no knock on Meek, a 100 headers. You know what I'm saying? It was always love for another artist that cracked through and reached them high heights
from
and reached
Philadelphia,
doing this thing. But his wave made it rough for us politically, and it was over name. And I'm like, we used to tell our guy, change the motherfucking name, man. You understand what I'm saying?
But it was crazy until, because we was like that, until you understand, like, I'm going to tell you something, there's a flip side to me with that. Because we was like, listen, it's over. Change your name. He is Meek Millz, man. You not. He like, I'm fucking Meek Millz.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, all right, we can't go against that. Right. Only thing you can do is kind of be out of it. Because it ain't like I'm going up to the other Meek saying that's the real Meek. No, both y'all named Meek to me. You know what I mean? For real, how this Meek won. I'm keeping it real. Our Meek didn't win this one, but he could have still did what he had to do as Mr. Walton because he fired.
I just thought we was looking at it businessly, and I think it was a little stubbornness and not seeing the big picture at the time. But I also understand as a man, you saying that's my name, I ain't changing.
Right, like why should I have to do? Right. I said I had to compare us. I said, imagine, and you already, Sonny, you talk this shit. That other Sonny Black, you like, man, fuck that nigga, man. Motherfucker got my name Sonny Black. Yeah, because you gonna be like that when it's your shit. I saw Bonnie, I don't give a fuck about my the oldest name in the fucking world, but that's why I spell it different, E-Y-S-E. But when I see the nigga spell it like me, I'm like, nigga, nigga, you got your fucking mind, nigga. That's my shit.
Now hold up. Could it be great minds think alike?
No, they took it. They took that
Let
shit.
somebody be son of Jen.
They took that shit. No, it could be, but they took that shit.
So did both Meeks, did they ever try to, you know, come to the round table and have a conversation?
Oh, boy.
Man,
Still today?
No,
listen,
I mean,
from where we speaking? Where we speaking?
They shot streets in here.
It came a
Did
time.
you know that?
It came a time in the
I
day.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That movie was done here.
Okay.
street, yeah.
Okay.
They clashed, and it could have got different outside. You know what I'm saying? And we intervened. I mean, the new Meek Mill, held his ground. But like we said, ain't where you from is where you at. He knew that. You know what I'm saying? But we stood for what was right, and I thought that our guy approach was wrong to the situation at the time. You know, so I was able to intervene and get them to pump the brakes on it, but their intentions was reckless.
I used to be like,
And that's real
our
right.
name is Naam Brigade. I'm like, why? But it was somebody in the squad with that name, but I'm like, this is the name we go by.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But, you know, politics, you know.
Politics is a motherfucker, and the politics wasn't on our side. Not only that, the whole city just turned their back.
Like, we know it's that, but,
You believe that the city ignored it and just went with that?
No, wait. Ignore what?
Ignored the names.
No. The names definitely wasn't ignored. Listen, the thing is, everybody know the Meek Millz and everybody know that.
Okay.
The thing, what happened was, so of course the power, it was a power shift. Meek, the new Meek got a lot of things going on. So if Cosmic Kev like this hot and this person like this hot, this person like this hot, when we come, they like, damn, they cool, but he got this a check over here. It's the same with us.
Yeah, right.
We used to be the money bag, the motherfuckers. We used to be the money bag. That's why we got everything. Everybody was around us because we used the money bag. It's the same with that. He the money bag, so when we walk up, literally, first of all, we got respect. So I'm gonna just say this in a different way. But some motherfuckers was like, they was just confused. They just turn that back so they don't have to give an explanation of what just went on with this Meek and our Meek.
Right.
You know what I mean? We like, damn, I thought you fuck with you just was with us. It ain't like it's a bad thing fucking with somebody he expanded, but you just was with us. But now you're not. Now you fronting. Now you're not speaking. That's what it make us feel sometimes, especially me.
and
I'm like,
in the
man,
early days, people used to come up to us,
Hey,
yo, man, doing y'all thing, man, I'm here. And I'd be like,
oh no, listen.
and they'd be like, yeah, that's
Listen.
my bag, John. I'm like, nah, that
Hey,
ain't
let me
but
say
they
this.
thinking that.
Let me say this, B.
Everybody thought it was that.
This
Y'all
the funniest
doing y'all
shit.
thing, man, with the ball.
I got a phone call saying, hey, yo, what's up? I'm like, ain't know how y'all feeling. Yeah, we heard Meek doing real good, man.
Right.
I'm like, yeah. I said, but you know that ain't our Meek. That's the new Meek out. No, he like, oh yeah.
Click.
All right, I'll call you back. I was, you motherfuckers. And all right, I'll call you back. And that was the label too. I just ain't gonna say the label.
Do y'all feel like it could have been handled better?
Depends what you're saying. Which situation? What, the Meek and Meek thing?
Yes.
Absolutely it could have. Let me tell you how I think. I think they could have did something together. That would have been crazy.
Listen, the movie Streets was shot here. He was already Meek, so it wasn't like super like, we all were here talking to each other. Right. It wasn't like that. It was just when the situation with our guy was the tension. We was around because I'm looking at it like, yo, it is what it is.
Right.
It was shot here.
Now,
we had the soundtrack song to the movie.
And
Streets.
Now, Meek Millz, is he still going by that name?
Probably.
Okay.
No, I think he accepting Mr. Warren. I think he just so deep
I
in
think
his
so.
life right now.
Okay.
He ain't worried about none of that.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't even think he even on it at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that's even more reason why I say in hindsight, you should have just went in and switched the name, and we could have kept boogieing, and then let the people who know, let them discuss that, because the people would have talked about it on their own. We always thinking business and bottom line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Do you feel like that situation kind of dampened Naam Brigade?
For sure.
Okay. In what way?
It was a black cloud over us, man. Did you know he was the newest? He had one of the longest, strongest runs
In this town?
Come on, man. He's a superstar, and you can't take nothing away from him because he made those hit records in the time he needed to make them. You know what I'm saying? He existed in the right time. The stars aligned for him. You know what I'm saying? So we had to take the hit of that, and it had nothing to do with our talent because record-wise, we wouldn't have got smoked.
Let me hold up. Let me say one more thing though. So in this situation, they get a little bit more trickier, right? Because imagine going through this and going through that with the Meek name, and then first of all, we trying to make the situation better by getting him to switch his name, Mr. Bolton, and all that shit. It is what it is. It's over with your Meek. Everybody know that's the Meek Millz. That's the truth. But everybody don't know because they know early in the game and all that shit is out and been out. This the thing that made it harder. I don't know if y'all know this, but our big brother was managing him. Did y'all know that?
Right.
I
First,
didn't know that.
No, I'm just saying Charlie Mack.
Right.
Right. So
yeah.
that's you got to understand this whole situation. So it's our big brother too, managing him. He already told us, you know what I mean?
Right.
His history with me. We accepted it. The whole thing was to accept that. I'm talking about with us. We accepted it like Big Bro got it. And so it's no beef with us. But with Meek like, fuck, that is my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. So you gotta imagine going through all this too. Right. So Big Bro that love us, it's not like he got Meek to do something with us. The mill ticket. You know, Meek was getting hot, so that's the only thing. It's just unfortunate that his name Meek Millz and shit. We got a Meek Millz and you are a big brother. And you know, that's how that situation is.
Speaking of streets, let's dive into movies. You guys worked on a movie. I seen it briefly earlier before we got the cameras rolling. Could we talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. One Gun. One Gun is the movie. Whatever we can talk a lot about it. Oh no, they just giving the view real quick.
Yeah, we wasn't if he ain't Michael Jackson.
We back. You know what I mean? Just beat it.
So let me ask you something. When who was the writer, and then like how did this idea come upon?
Some guy named Darnell.
You know what's crazy? Great question, because writer walked in and he trying to sit back down, but he think he gonna be in the way of the camera.
Go ahead. You good.
So we're gonna give him a shout out. Donnell Augustus, Thomas Overton, and what's his Proctor?
William Proctor.
William Proctor. They're the writers of the movie. Main
Okay.
writer right here, Donnell. Also part of my company, Phenomenal Pictures. You know what I mean? So yeah, they wrote the movie.
Now, when did you guys? Well, let me ask you, how was the casting process?
How was it? Don't look at him because it's not his interview.
I got you.
All right, yeah. You thought you was Gary. No, we got you though. No, you know what's crazy? Off the screen, you can answer that, Donna. Just answer that real quick. I know you gonna say it. What was the process of for the casting?
We had actors involved in it from the early times who have read the script, who were rocking with us for a while, like in Christopher Maine and Brian Anthony Wilson. They're the first two actors who wrote the script, so I always knew they were gonna be part of it. And then it was about building relationships over the years, so it was people I had in mind. So I called a lot of people. And then once it got down to the point of, all right, these are the people that I definitely want in the project, then we had to start casting people, to start finding people. So it's a bunch of people was already kind of in line, and then other people was like, all right, let's find some people.
Okay. And then when what was the time frame that you guys started, actually shooting
This is the best part about it and the worst part about it. We started during COVID. So we actually started before COVID, and COVID hit and shut us down. It shut us all the way down. Locations, we had everything set up for us, and it shut us down. So you remember
Wait
how
a
it was.
minute. Yes. So you guys, that was in 2020.
Yeah, we had, so you think we had to shut down for a couple.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You got locations that you guys are pretty much already scouted and booked and everything.
And then they got taken away from us.
All right, so what was the process after that? Or
The process was staying focused and staying strong, making sure nothing deter you, making sure that whatever obstacle was in your way, you make sure you overcome it. That's what you started thinking of.
Right.
Because it started becoming a thing where, first of all, you know, if you shoot, anything you do with people, you on people's time. So if you need 20 people for this scene, it got to be 20 people there. If one late, fucks up the whole thing. So when you're dealing with people, you know what I mean, it was kind of crazy. Along with the COVID just going crazy. So we couldn't do nothing. I don't know what you was going to say. Yeah, we could. Oh shit, I get you. We couldn't do anything. We had to wait it out. I want you to think about this too. So it took 26 days to shoot this movie.
okay.
26 physical days. It took 2 years and something. Well, maybe let's just say 2 years, year and a half to complete 26 days because of circumstances.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like circumstances change. It was things that we just couldn't control. You know what I mean? But we got the movie done. Through all you gotta get that clap. Through all the shit we went through, we got it done. And I don't know if anybody know about getting movies shot or anything. A lot of people do not finish them. You know what I mean? Even if you're not spending that much money on them, they not finishing them. We spend money and we finish this joint. It was rough, but you know, there go right on the swing with one guy. That's what it is.
Out right now on too.
Yup. Starring superstar Sonny Black.
Yes, sir.
He got the most minutes.
now
Guys
for people.
believe them.
Oh, can I say one more thing before you answer this question? If I would have had like $200,000, I could have got him in it.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
that.
You know what I mean? He charging too much.
So what's the movie about?
It's two criminals, two detectives chasing the gun in the Philly streets. The gun is going from hand to hand, causing havoc throughout the city. It's almost like the gun is haunted. So whoever touched the gun go through drowning, basically.
Okay, well, hold up. They gonna watch the trailer.
Absolutely.
We put it on right here. There it goes.
3, 2, 1. All right, go back. All right, so you guys are working on a documentary. Am I correct?
Yeah.
What's that about, and what's the name? Can we talk about that?
We got a name for it. I don't know.
It's in the premature stages because there's so many moving parts to that. Like it's going to take some time to get done because we got to get a lot of interviews. And
Okay.
get a lot of people lined up. We got the extensive background with Jeff, Will, Smith. We got to go to the West Coast. We got to go to New York.
That's what's going to make it. That's what's going to make it the time.
OZ the General, we got to talk to him.
What? Yeah,
Now, all right. So it looked like you guys are expanding the brain. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting into film right now. Film. I always tell people, seeing is believing. You know what I mean? I be at the movie theaters with my wife, and I'm watching stuff on my phone. You know what I'm saying? So you guys is more leaning to the visual part of everything, right? Why and why now?
I think that's you telling me. Yeah, because we always recreated ourselves. A lot of people from music made that transition to films. You understand what I'm saying? But what I will say, this ain't an average motherfucking film right here. This is like a standout film that's going very well in its first month on Tubi. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you know, people hear Tubi and they, like, if you go on my page, you hear females say, it's on Tubi, but it ain't a Tubi movie.
OZ. What do they scream? What do they scream? What they say, OZ? I love Tubi.
In Atlantic City.
Love Tubi. Everybody.
Atlantic City,
love
can't get enough of Tubi. They love it.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
And for them to say it is, you know,
Now speaking of Tubi, do you guys feel like that a lot of film directors are oversaturating that market versus going to, you got Peacock, you got
No.
elaborate.
Let me tell you something. First of all, these are streaming sites. So basically, with our movie is going to be on more streaming sites. We got flags for little things. This is all I want to grow on. There's a few things with the movie, like far as a full screen and credits. This is the only thing I'm going through from Prime and Netflix and all the other ones. So fix them, you cool. I look at it like it's a streaming service. If remember what I said, if you complete a movie, man, kudos. Because that's the most important thing to complete it. Getting it up to where somebody can see ain't bad. It don't matter what the fuck is on. If everybody went, if YouTube, let's look at Tubi as YouTube.
Okay.
Right? Because you basically see the type of movies on Tubi and you saying, you know how people be like, that's a Tubi movie. For real, it's just a movie on Tubi.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a Tubi movie. It's just they accept. They give an opportunity.
Let me ask you.
So when they say the Tubi movie, because some be looking cheesy.
Yeah, but like right.
And
hold on, wait, stop. Let's keep it real. Someone cheesy as fuck. A lot. That's not. It doesn't matter. The whole thing is, did you see my movie?
Yeah.
Right. And it's an executive producer, and this is, did you see my movie? People come to me. You can come to me and be like, that movie was bullshit. I'm gonna say, did you see it? You saw it, right? No, what I'm saying is, but that's funny. But that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. Me, I'm gonna say, did you see it?
Right.
Fuck what you think about
Because I won already.
Exactly. I need you to see it.
But the thing that also, how many televisions do you think Tubi is on across the country?
You know what I mean?
Hey, my mom be tuned in.
Listen,
I'm just saying, it's on smart TVs. It's all over the world.
And it's a free subscription.
What's better than free?
Yeah.
What's better than free?
And that's why they changed the rules a little bit. They got certain guidelines that's different now than they had before. And I'm in the midst of catching the second part of the guideline. If I caught the first part, woo!
I also would say to that with us, we can no longer think of reinventing the wheel. We got to go with what's popping and what's hot. We did a lot of that. We made those, I ain't gonna say mistakes, but we went through that a lot with music.
Okay.
Always innovating, always, and we'd still be innovators, but always ahead of the game, always, it's time to just live in the time. This is what's going on now. All right, this is what we doing now. You know what I'm saying? But I also have, I'm in a few other movies on other sites as well. Mm-hmm. But
talk about them.
Yeah, we got Angel, where MC Light is the head detective.
Angel.
That's Charlie Mack. Angelo.
I play a character called Chester.
Okay.
An addict war veteran. You can find that also on Tubi, but it was launched on BET Plus. You know, as we spoke about him in the movie Streets, was my debut acting.
Right.
I got a joint I got Once Upon a Time in Philly, and I got a joint called The Real Harrisburg with my man Preston from Harrisburg that's getting ready to drop. I'll play a pastor in that joint.
Dope. Man, you stepping outside the box.
Let's go.
I like
He
that.
just shot his first scene. Tell
I'm in a movie called The New Nana.
Yeah.
The what?
It's called The New Nana by my guy Jermaine Quick. I'm starring.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
You know, my Denzel on.
Now listen, if you could rewind 15, 20 years from now, did you guys ever expect that you would be doing film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And we was on the set of Bel Air when we was 19, 18, 19.
Kids, we was on a couple shots.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. We had that whole vision then. Yeah. We were song makers for a reason because we was real artists.
Right.
Artistry is a motherfucker. Being a real artist give you vivid imagination to do a lot of things and shit. We had all of that. So of course I knew I was gonna be on TV. That's what I mean about my pride. Sometimes street shit kick in. You know what I mean? Street shit kick in. Now I'm not on the camera because I feel like I don't want to be a certain type of way around motherfuckers. We ain't playing right now. You know that dumb shit. And now, it's out the window. You know what I mean? I'm about to be a comedian. I'm about to do a whole bunch of shit. But go ahead, what you want to say?
You speak about pride a lot.
Absolutely.
And that's I always tell people this, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a prideful person. I used to have an ego, cocky and stuff like that. And you know, life will have you humble yourself when you go through certain situations.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I promote, you know what I mean, for us as men, you know, let's take away pride and ego. Because that way we all have a clear mind. Something that pride and ego would, you know, block blessings and opportunities. Absolutely. Somebody could sit down around and say, bro, I was just tripping,
You
man.
said ego?
Absolutely.
Ego.
You know the EGO?
Go ahead, elaborate.
That means edge got out. Not no more, so don't have an ego.
Exactly.
Hey,
you dropping Drew. Whoa.
But I would say this.
Come on.
I would say this. All that sound good, but it's bullshit. You're still gonna have your pride and your ego. It's just about being able to contain it in certain situations. Cause you'll let your guard, you can let your guard down and go to somebody and try to politic and they make you feel like shit. Then you feel like,
That's
that's
true.
why I never say nothing to niggas the fuck anyway. You understand what I'm saying? But you gotta, like you say, lace the boots back up and keep it pushing. But sometimes that can put you back in the shell a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that depends on if it depends on how you take it. So, you know, with me,
That's motivation.
well, yeah, that too. But if a person, say for instance, I came to you, I'm saying, hey, yo, I got this idea, and you talk to me like I'm a sucker, you talk to me like belittle me. Now, I could take it to the perspective of, all right, so he's not there, so I just keep it moving. Or I could take it like, oh, bro, what you talking about? Like,
You gonna take it personal if you came to me and said this untold stories, and I'm acting like your show wasn't shit. You understand what I'm saying? You will feel some type of way, right? But you would keep it pushing. But I think that once that person came back to you, you'll remember that shit.
No.
I mean, go. No, go ahead.
Made me forget what I was gonna say.
All right. So I would say,
Yeah.
I had to beg different because I've been through that.
Okay.
And what is a thing about being obedient and self-control. And
Right.
that's something that I had to learn through life. Life taught me all of that. Not just me saying, okay, I'm gonna wake up one moment and then I'm not gonna be like that. I had to go through a lot of things where I had to swallow my pride. I had to put away my ego and things like that. Do life bother me? Yes. People bother me? Yes. But it's all about my perspective of how I outsee somebody versus me just saying, okay, in this moment, yo, Sonny feel this way, Ice feel this way. And they said this about the
You're not
untold.
playing like you forgot my name. Son of Jan felt that way.
Look. I mean, why he laughing? This is what I'm gonna say because
Go ahead.
I see what you're saying, and I understand. Pride is a word that can be split in half on some real shit. So certain things you're gonna be prideful for. What's up? Okay.
No, you good. Keep going.
Certain things you're gonna be prideful for, like certain. You know when your pride holding you back for something, and you know when you gotta stand with your pride. It's different things. Sometimes, like some things you just can't accept. Disrespect or however it is. A lot of things. All right, hold on. Let me see how I can say this right. Let's just say if I mean you just felt some type of way about. All right, let's use somebody talking to you. You like I will not respect you. I will not have this conversation with you because you are talking to me in a certain type of way. My pride really won't allow me to keep letting you talk to me this type of way. You know what I mean? You understand that? And then it's the pride, like, man, I ain't just doing that shit. I don't give a fuck and all that. It's two different ones.
Exactly.
So one is one and one is the other one.
But or and that's a perfect example. Or you could say, listen, not my pride. The respect that I have for myself, I won't allow somebody to talk to me that way. So I'm gonna walk this way.
Right.
But listen,
Well,
hold on, listen, right? Just like Will was seeing Cosmic Kev. Now this Will Smith icon. You know what Will said to Cosmic Kev? you used to not speak to me. You used to say, oh yeah, what's up, Will? Hey, Jeff, yo. He remembered that. This is all I'm saying. It's human nature. He didn't take it no type of way, but he could have forgot that. This is the billionaire Will icon.
He ain't forget that.
Brought that up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, it's like a little sticky little line where they said Jay-Z like that too.
He swallowed his pride, right, to still shake Kev's hand and just say that.
And that's growth.
That's
That's growth.
But he
That's
brought it
growth.
up is what I'm saying.
But the thing is,
right.
yeah, because his some of his pride was like, I gotta say something, but that ain't even really the pride thing. The pride was like what I said. He swallowed his pride. He still shook Cosby Kev's hand.
Right,
And
right.
like you said, that is.
So he came to the interview. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So-
No. I'm saying the whole. I'm just using the handshake as an example.
So, because I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is human nature. You don't.
Somebody
We are human.
What
We
I'm
are
saying
human.
is because all you remember is how somebody treats you.
and that's what I was
That's good. That's good.
all you need is
That's
some size of it.
good, and that's a fact. Because if you treated me like I was a scum, I am gonna always remember that.
Right.
That's us being human.
Right.
But if you opened your door to me, you treated me with the utmost respect, I am also going to remember that
And that's
as
why the
well.
pride is split in half.
Right.
Because it's up to you how you feel.
Right.
I
You
can
can
agree.
also
I can agree.
think about it. You can say you treated me like shit, but you gotta swallow your pride for this business move y'all can still make.
Imagine you seeing.
You know what I mean? Y'all can still make some business happen.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So fuck all the other shit. That's swallowing your pride.
Imagine
Okay.
you just starting off and you see me and be like, yo, I want to sit down with you, man. And your thing get hot, then I'm calling you to try to get on it. You're going to remember that. Like, when I just started, I seen this guy such and such try to holler at or from Naam, and he brushed me
You know
off.
how he handled it at that point?
Hold up, that happened to a few people that was on the platform. That's why I say, like I could remember you, and I could take it in a different perspective. I can be like, you know what, that person just don't know who I am, or he didn't see the vision, and that's okay. So I can give you that where you could circle around the block and come back and redeem yourself.
Right.
I could do that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Because that's life, first of all. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's a saying, you meet people, like a person, I can meet 20 people and they all gonna know 20 different things about me from how I am that time. You know what I mean? One time I might be, like you say, you can be talking too much. One time I might be calm. One time I might be angry. The only thing that person will remember you from is like, damn, that boy be getting angry all the time. He met me once.
That
Oh, that person,
Right,
that
right.
motherfucker was that.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I can agree to that.
Remember that encounter.
They're gonna
I
remember
just-
that encounter.
I understand that respect is due to a dog. Everybody deserves it.
Right, and it
You know what I'm
feels
saying?
good to have
It's
respect.
It's just because you don't know what nobody else walk of life is. I just seen one boy, and he said to me, I remember him from school. So we was just out having a good time, and I finally got a chance to look at him. I said, damn, man, we ain't gonna do that, man. We gonna speak. He said, man, you walked by me for years. I said, damn. So don't charge it to my heart. You know what I'm saying? I never really, I wasn't in your face.
Right.
I probably was keeping it moving. But I said, no, man, you know, it ain't like that because we was cool in school. But he went out his way to let me know, no, nigga, you speaking today. But I seen you he said for years. But when I shook his hand and embraced him, it was sterile. And,
That's
you know,
growth right there.
Right.
Of
I
course,
said, no, man, it wasn't like that.
I walked
you know
past
what
you
I mean?
for years and now I'm not.
Right. But I didn't notice him at that time. You know what I mean? But he took it like that.
They do that to me. You know what I mean? I'll be like, what's up? Hey, keep going. Right, it's cool. Like, I'm finding out something new today. Ice with pride. I never knew that. I never knew Ice had pride.
Sonny, do you believe in gatekeepers, and do you know gatekeepers?
I believe they exist. You know, I believe they exist, but I climb over gates, man.
Say that again?
I climb over gates.
My gatekeeper is God. That's the only
You know what I
gatekeeper
mean?
I know what's gonna let me do. I always say that, man. They try to control it, but if he gonna let it through, he gonna let it.
I don't think that they have the stronghold that they used to have. But a call can be put in, and somebody can inquire about you, and somebody can stop it.
Ice, what's a gatekeeper to you? Your perspective.
Motherfucker in the way. The motherfucker got control of the direction you can take in life, especially if you have a dream or something like that. So he's in the way. He can point you in which way you can go, or he can point you back to where you came from. That's the gatekeeper.
Have you ever been has Naam Brigade ever been gatekeeped?
Yeah. Hell. He stopped me from, you know.
No, you think hold on.
No. I mean, it's in the atmosphere, but we just don't see it. But you can see people like, you know what I mean? You can feel it though. Like,
right.
I mean, you can just feel it.
It's
though.
always people that.
Yeah.
That's just like the streets.
Yeah, it's
a
always
middleman.
gonna be that.
It's a middleman.
I was just going to say that. It's the middleman.
It's gatekeepers in the streets, it's gatekeepers in the sports, it's gatekeepers in entertainment, it's gatekeepers.
It was a lot. No, right, listen. That's one thing I understand. We talk about the gatekeepers and the middlemen. If we understand that if we had just gave somebody half of our shit back then, we'd be rich right now. No, even if they didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? That's just how the game goes. Them gatekeepers are in the way for a reason. They there for a reason. They there to contain and control. You know what I mean? They let you know what can come through and what can't.
Right.
So let me ask you.
At their own discretion.
So let me ask you this: have you ever stood in between something or not in a negative way, but somebody had to come to you to get to something?
Yeah.
So would that be considered a gatekeeper?
So for me, gatekeeping can be on two different sides, but they can coexist in the same neighborhood. So on this block, if I'm gatekeeping, say for instance, you say, yo, Jay, man, I need a job. I know I got the plug for somebody that's the owner at Dave & Buster's, right? And you want to be a chef or whatever. Yo, my man over here, he need a job. Boom, boom, boom. You got any openings? I just gatekeep in a positive way. Now, you can come to me like, Jay, I need a job. Yo, man, I ain't messing with this ball, man. Nah, man, if you see him come in and fill out an application, dead it. Yeah. Now, that's gatekeeping in a negative way, but they could both live in the same neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But on different blocks. So I believe everybody does gatekeeping. You dig what I'm saying? When Sandman, you know what I'm saying? Sandman could have been like, yeah, you dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So we all do gatekeeping.
Look, all right, that's all right. Fuck gatekeeping. We gonna call these people cause they just decision makers. Cause you think about it, that's using negative part in gatekeeping.
Okay.
Imagine you say, fuck this, I ain't doing this because you don't trust this motherfucker with your word. So negative can be positive too. So the gatekeeping, all it is a person that determines if you can go in or not, right?
Yeah,
well, that's moving the goalposts a little.
No, you can say, I want to interview them, and they
that's
be like, no, that was gatekeeping.
That's what it is.
Right, yeah, but that's what I said. They all coexist in the same neighborhood, just different blocks.
Yeah. If somebody over you, like
one more time. Right. If you in a position, especially now, first of all, let's talk about your check. Let's just say you was making $50,000 a year, but I'm giving you $150,000 a year to just make sure the right motherfuckers come in, and you know what I mean. That's your job.
Right.
So you gonna be up there like you can come in, you can't. Motherfucker coming rowdy, you be like, nah, I don't trust you. Motherfucker coming rowdy and cool and strong, you be like, I might need you. You gonna make decisions off of how you feel.
Right.
That's the gatekeeping. And
that's true.
And what do I get out of it for you to go through? For you to go through, what am I getting? Because I want at least half, because they can take more.
I'm gonna give you another perspective. Naam Brigade, y'all own the nightclub. It's banging. It's the top club in the world. I'm the bouncer. I'm the head bouncer at the door. This is gatekeeping. You can come in. Yo, 500. You can come in. Yo, nah, I don't like you. That's gatekeeping in a negative way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Both ways.
That's positive.
It's positive.
It could be positive too.
It depends. It's both ways.
No. Naam Brigade don't know.
Coming in. I don't want average chicks coming in. That's what I do.
No,
That's what the gatekeeping works.
Right. So,
But see, that's what I'm saying. It's levels to it. It's levels to it. It's levels to it.
Absolutely.
It's levels to it. So, at this climate of Naam Brigade and your careers, everything that you accomplish, everything that you contribute to this culture, do you feel like gatekeeping? Somebody can gatekeep you right now at this moment.
If you trying to get somewhere and they in that lane, and if they can do that, yeah.
Look, but look. I'm gonna say something. It's not supposed to happen.
Okay.
Like in this time, it's not supposed to. It's nobody that's supposed to be in our way. But at the same time, it's only like that until you get to a certain level. Because who giving out the checks? It's people on the next level.
Right.
So the farther you go up, it's gonna be somebody there at the gate.
Like I said,
it's gonna be somebody
we
waiting.
got so much work to do that we make them not exist no more.
Right. So we on our.
That's the mission that we on now.
And
You know what I'm saying? That's the mission that we on now. That's just like with you. I'm happy and honored, and as we should be, that this is something that you wanted to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't us over pursuing. It wasn't you over pursuing. It's something we mutually came together and say, all right, let's sit down.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But
I fuck with
to sum up what you said, hell yeah, gatekeepers exist. Hell yeah.
And we all were gatekeepers.
No, I was about to say that. We all gatekeepers, no matter what. You think about it.
Yeah.
It all depends how you play. It all depends. How you play.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. It all depends on how you use your gatekeeping.
How you use it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Now, who are some of the artists that Naam Brigade is looking at today? I'm gonna marginalize it to Philly and let's say tri-state.
Looking at today?
Looking at today,
Music.
as far as music.
The ones that you see that's popping, what's the young boy? He's visual, Skrilla, so I see him
I
all the
don't
time.
know no name.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like he one of them roles that, you know, his wave so wavy right now, he gonna come across you. You know what I'm saying? I like Amir Ali.
I like that guy.
You know what I'm saying? My man OZ.
Yeah, OZ the General.
That's who I listen to.
OT the general.
No, OT the real. That's
OT the real. Okay.
That's my guy too.
No,
But
OZ
this is
the
OZ the General. He with us.
Okay.
I'm gonna check for my guys. My guy Norman Bates.
Okay.
You know these.
And you know what's crazy? Real song makers in here. That's it.
I listen to Husky. You know what I mean?
Listen, you
Heard
can
of
put us up
us,
against
yeah.
anybody. I'm talking about in this building right now. Listen, my little brother Bates get on my motherfucking nerves.
Bates ain't a little brother.
Song makers. They all my little brothers.
He a grown man.
Little brothers. Little brothers.
Makes me sound like he a young artist, yo.
No, I ain't making shit like no young artist. Little brother. I ain't say young bull, did I?
Bates always
Did I call
made
him
hit
young?
records.
It's my young bull? My young bull?
Norman Bates always made hit records. When I
Making
met him,
hits. That's what I said. Make
that was the first thing I said. I said, you make records.
real records.
Make records.
Here's a question that I asked Sandman and Ace McCloud. Do today's artists coming off the porch and jumping to the studio, do they need radio?
No.
That's obvious that you don't.
Not today.
It's obvious that you don't.
Need? No.
Need ain't.
No, you got that phone.
Do you want it? Yes.
Yeah, but you
Need it? No.
NBA young
Yeah, I agree. I believe
It's accessible. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's
Go ahead.
accessible for you to listen to whatever you want to listen to it when you want to listen to it. All that's eliminated. Right.
Do you listen to radio?
Yeah.
When the last time you listened to radio?
Today.
So-
yes.
I listen to it. For homework.
What's that?
I mean, I want to hear different music to keep me into. I still produce music too. so I'm producing.
That I understand.
And you get stuck, keep doing the same bullshit over and shit. So you gotta, explain. My music is only really one way a bunch of times.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you have to. I use it to expand my mind. I need the radio
Whoever sound good.
new shit.
is good.
Sometimes you just need to understand that you already got it.
Right.
What you looking for?
I listen to WIP. Every day.
Eagles, Phillies.
Yeah, sports radio.
Go Birds.
But no, radio definitely is not needed in this climate. Not at all.
Okay.
But I think artists need to get back to direct to consumer and get away from this streaming more.
Speaking of streams, what is a stream?
Pennies.
What's your
For
mean?
music?
Hold on, elaborate. What is
What,
a
so
stream?
all right. So it's not a
That's
general question. It's a direct question.
Right.
What is a stream? Like, what is it?
What you talking about when somebody listens to your music on the street?
I know he ain't talking about that because I know he.
No. That's the description. I'm talking about what is a stream itself. That word, like, what is a stream?
That's something they made up.
No,
Somebody listening to his
You
song.
gonna ask Naam a trick
That's all
question
it
in
is.
the fucking
It-
interview?
Hold on. I think
Nobody
Ice.
wanna say it's a fucking streaming. Streaming music. Nobody wanna say the real definition.
Yeah.
They like it's a trick question.
Give me my phone. I'll
A
tell you.
stream is a play.
I'll tell you what.
A stream.
It's an important thing that can help you generate money monthly, yearly, if you build them.
A stream.
That's what a stream
I would
is.
say a stream can help keep you popular. Because far as it's a lesson not to sell, so it can help keep you.
There you go.
Popular.
Listen, not a sell.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what I said. I said it's a play. A play is a stream. Stream.
He got it.
But,
Yeah, but it's
but that's not all.
That's
Hold on, but that ain't all the way true because streams are sales as well. When somebody drop the album, but it's so many streams becomes a sell. I think it's like 150 streams. It's like
Well,
one sale.
isn't it about -4 cents a stream?
That's why I said pennies when you first asked me what a stream was.
Negative 4 cents a stream.
So how can because here's the thing, you guys sold over $20,000. I keep saying $20. I must want that.
Right.
You guys sold over 20,000 copies independently.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? That like you got to think about that. One album right now, you could subscribe to Spotify and get everybody album for $5.99, whatever. But back then, y'all was selling that for what, $10 and up?
Yeah.
But these dudes was killing them.
Early in the game album
They
was
was killing
$18.99.
They was on 20 out there.
$18.99. Multiply that by 3 million people that you like. You know,
Hard copies is hand in hand and going in there. That's where you made the money.
right, and that's where your
That
merch
makes
came
sense,
in.
then.
So my question to you guys: do you believe that streaming hurt artists?
It fucks the
Absolutely.
artists up.
Absolutely.
Listen, streaming
Absolutely.
strips you of everything. It strips you of everything. First of all, the companies only made it easier for them to make more money and more accessible for you. to
Now,
push
which
your
one
music
you
out.
would want? A
Simple.
million streams or $1 million?
So here's the all right. I'm gonna answer that question. I believe that the streaming today, if everybody know that streaming F the artists up, why do you put your music on these platforms?
Because hold on, wait. You gotta understand, you only comparing what F's it up. You comparing it from now to back then. They don't feel like it's fucked up now because they ain't experienced it back then.
Yeah, but back then it was totally good because Shucks, you sold 5,000 copies.
now they
That
don't
was
get
still
it.
good.
Like,
Every car still had CDs and the tape joints and all that.
I would
It'd
sell.
still be sold.
I would sell.
They switched it to the flash drive.
I would
You
sell
got
CDs
internet
and tapes
radio.
all
You
day.
still be out there with the vinyl.
That was
the
my
tape,
point,
and
but
the
that was my
CD.
point in saying go direct to consumer, build your website. He has one out right now where you stay popular. You still eventually put it on streaming sites, but people can directly buy it from you. You know
On
what
my
I'm saying?
website. I give them the
Yeah.
site, they go
And
to
look,
it, they can buy it.
And that's the reality
I
with
agree.
sales. Well, who said something? I'm about to say a lot of sales is more support and loyal fans. Everybody else is not buying it. They just listening.
They listening.
They just
and
listening,
moving
and which is cool too. You get way less for listening. That's why that direct to consumer thing is the motherfucker because you don't need too many people to make a living or to move forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can really generate money, especially if you keep putting music out. You can generate a little bit of money a lot of times.
Right. That's why that merch and performing is so
Everything,
powerful.
everything, all that's damn.
It's important.
Let me ask you guys something, and I want you guys to just be brutally honest. Did you feel like you got your fair shot in this game?
Fuck no. That's what I said.
You know, that's why I keep going, because sometimes you be like, nah, they ain't get the best of us. I mean, the whole industry, like the whole country. You know
I think that time probably passed though, in certain aspects. I think it's moving on to the films is where I know we're gonna hang our hat at right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Now,
are-
music can come along with that, right? But as far as it's always gonna be some unfulfillment as far as an artist with me. But it was just the universe and time.
That's what I was gonna say. I got this movie called Bad Timing. This is what I was gonna say. Movie got put in production called Bad Timing. You won't understand shit until you go through certain shit. I don't know. In real life, you ever been through a sequence of events that you just can't believe happened to you? Like me? You be like, why me?
Right.
Shit just, that's what happened. We went through shit to where, I'm talking about, we never fell from the top. We never fell from the top to the bottom. We just fell down a step from the top. Every fucking time. Every time. So, we was there. You're like, God, that's crazy. We was there on every level of when people say, do y'all feel like, could you compare yourself to a celebrity? I can be like, yeah, because we did the same shit, except
Get rich.
Except that. The same shit, the level that motherfuckers, listen, we are who we are and didn't get no money like that out of it, like how we wanted to. And this is how we are. That's how the game changes. The reason why he don't answer the phone and shit from movies is because he ramble, he busy. He look at it like who he is. We all do. We had that, and people. That's why sometimes you gotta humble yourself because you'll feel like that, and then realize like, damn, we still got work to do. One thing about with this movie, I did a lot of shit. The thing that I understand, this shit ain't gonna crack unless we push it. No matter what.
You know
You got to go back to the ground and make this happen. So,
Yeah.
and you said, oh no, it is what it is. But what, you make a single nigga, get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna give you guys. I'm
That's just the truth.
gonna give you guys a today's topic, man. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of the industry, man, we all know what's going on in the news with the whole trial with the Diddy and everything. You know what I'm saying? Did any of you guys ever own baby oil?
Hold up. You should have never said it. Well, this is LL Cool J. Didn't he just tell you he fuck with LL Cool J?
That's fine.
Not like that. You on camera.
No, not
he's
not like that.
That was my.
See, you ain't had to, grown man, you ain't had to say it not like that. You talking about that motherfucker think he's LL.
He said that piece it up.
Piece it up, boy.
Before we used to perform, this motherfucker used to be like, I gotta oil you up real quick. Like, oil you up? Nigga, shite come on shining and shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
That's crazy that the innocent baby oil done got a bad stick.
I know, right?
Just that quick.
Listen, I go through the morgue. I was at Giants. I was with my wife, and we went back. You know that they got the baby aisle and everything. I was like, let's keep it
That's
moving.
crazy.
Yo,
Innocent baby oil.
the only truth about baby oil that make me understand that shit is that my grandma, we really had a bottle that lasted so
For
fucking
years.
long.
For years.
God damn.
Now you
Years.
grab
That
it
shit
and throw it in
never
the
ran
trash
out.
because of that
The
trial.
same bottle
For years.
for years.
Now,
Fuck is it?
Now with this case, and I'm only going to breeze through this, and you guys can elaborate. But with this case, now they put Diddy for sex trafficking. What was the other charges? Rico. So before Rico was considered, you had to have yourself and other people, you know, on that case along with
Right,
you.
that's the Rico.
It's just him. You know what I'm saying?
How is that just the Rico with him?
They're
right?
trying to break you. Rico meaning they can take your money and stuff. That's the stuff they do to the mob.
Oh, so okay, you might have just taught me something with that. You said Rico is best. We look at the Rico like take everybody there.
Yeah.
Right. But Rico is just a term You saying that for what?
To like make breaking, like they take your stuff, money,
Like seize your accounts and things
right,
like that.
So that's why they put the RICO in there.
Right.
Because if it was regular trial on beating domestic, they can't stop his money or nothing like that.
Let me ask you guys, what's your take just overall on this case?
That's crazy. I ain't gonna talk about the Puffy case, but fuck it, we in the interview. Hey man, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
He upset some gatekeepers.
Could've.
Unless he locked the gate. Cause he a gatekeeper.
Think about this back in the day.
Fuck.
When people had a lot of money, you like, they can't go to jail. You know, when you hear people that
Right,
have a lot of money,
yeah.
you like, no. But you seeing Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Puffy, like big name people with money getting in there, you like, yo.
Listen, I ain't gonna elaborate too much, but y'all know it's deeper than.
Let me ask you
this
this.
shit. There's a lot of things.
You still rocking with the music? Or no?
Of course.
Because you still gotta listen to Benny.
Hold on, what music?
Whoa.
The Bad Boy music.
Bad Boy, yeah.
Bad Boy,
Do I still listen to Puff stuff?
Who gonna stop listening to a song?
That's moving the goalposts, bro. That's moving the goalposts.
That's a cancel culture. I know. Whoever stop listening to a song because
Listen, yes. So I still listen to Diddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Far as because here's the thing, we get things, confused from the actual person, from the entertainer. Diddy is an entertainer. Sean Combs was the guy that you seen beating on Cassie.
he look like Diddy to me.
No. Diddy is the character. Diddy is the.
If he's in trouble for that, okay, they're hitting the girl.
Yeah.
But they pulling out all the sex stuff. He's just a freak ball. You go to jail for that?
So that's pretty much what the prosecutors are trying to elaborate. They're trying to paint this this picture that he's out here and he's a monster. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys ever been to child support or custody court, and the lawyers is trying to paint you as this bad father and things like that, so that you can't get the kids and the other party can get the kids. So it's kind of similar with Puff. He was messing with a girl. She did what she did on those tapes. He did what he did on his tapes. You can't be charged for being a freak. But obviously in this case, they're trying to paint that narrative. And Diddy, I don't believe Diddy's on trial for what he's charged for. I think he's on trial for public perception.
Listen. All right. So I'm
You think so?
It's a little deeper than that.
That's what I was going to say. It's just deeper than that. He ain't on trial for none of that shit. That's just what they gonna use. And I ain't gonna front. So let's use it. You said sex trafficking.
Now because you can fly a girl in.
Come on now.
They
call that sex trafficking. You fly a girl in, you pay for her, and in return, if she give you sex.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's a loophole that can get anybody in trouble at any time.
All of this. So that's what I'm saying. So
I think that really when everybody stands against them, I'll be like, I understand how you might be getting caught up into all the other stuff. Yeah. But you got to think in the broader scheme of things, that means that any woman can come up with that with anybody, any celebrity. But they said with Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
Just come on, man.
Smoking 90.
That's like
he got
crazy
charge.
to me. Like that a case with no physical evidence, no video evidence, just the word of mouth, and you really can get criminal charges from that. That's crazy to me. Now, what he did or what he didn't do, we don't know.
Right.
All we know is what we seen.
The thing is,
and that was him in the fight thing.
We can talk because we ain't, you know what I mean, like that hot yet. But come on, man. That case is clearly not because of that. And I always said this too. So the bigger the celebrity, the littlest case can have you fucked up. Like when we was talking about like with Mike Vick. Mike Vick, dogs is a serious thing. I'm not gonna front on that. Dogs and animals fighting them is a serious thing. But what Mike Vick went through, if you went through it or you went through it, you probably wouldn't go to jail. You know what I mean? Because you ain't the public figure that people looking at. They try to make an example out of certain motherfuckers. So that all play a part too.
I think it's like you say, the level of what he's going through, and we think that we can pinpoint it. I think it's way over all.
Yeah, you can't pinpoint it.
I think it's over all out here.
Exactly.
What's the truth?
What's the truth? That's the whole thing.
You know what I'm saying?
All they doing is using what you can use that the public can understand.
Well, did he still wealthy? Everything is his mom name.
But you know what I do respect? That dude said he was gonna roll over and bring a lot of people in with him. And I know he knows some shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he facing this shit on his own. Now, will that happen in the future? Who knows? What I'm saying, as today, he's sitting in that hot seat on his own. You know what I'm saying?
Tell him to shut God damn.
So earlier you was talking about the power of the phone. All you gotta do is pick this up. A week and a half ago, you know what I'm saying, Remy Ma and Papoose took to the internet to talk about personal family issues. One is involving a battle rapper from Philadelphia named Easy the Block Captain.
Philly?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. One is, and the other one is involving boxer Clarissa. What's your take on that?
It's a situation where it's sad to see that it got to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because they represented black love, you know, as far as we know. But, you know, perception and reality can be, obviously, is two different things.
Right.
But the crazy part about social media is, do you stay quiet or do you defend yourself? And then when you defend yourself, you're wrong. And then when you're quiet, people saying you ain't saying enough. So it's like it's crazy with the game. You just gotta choose what side you want to land on and just land your plane. You know what I'm saying? Now he's speaking out saying this wasn't that, or you know what I mean. But who? To me, I think when Clarissa Shields was on
Breakfast
Club, I didn't think she was really saying nothing that deep.
Okay.
Or disrespectful. But I don't know the whole, you know, the whole gist of what's going on. But I saw that interview, and they tried to touch her and bring up certain things, but I thought that she kind of handled it with class. But Remy ain't see it that way.
She didn't see it that way. I mean, I think me, I'm a sacred person, so I'm private. So us going on there and leaving it up for the public to, you know, determine who's right, who's wrong, and things like that. I think I was kind of taken back when Papoose said he wrote 90% of her raps. Do you believe that?
I mean, it's possible. That was his wife. I don't think nothing was wrong with it.
I don't think nothing was wrong with it if he did.
It very much could have.
She can rap. She can rap though. So if you're gonna, I just think maybe when somebody talk, they say a percentage like that, 90%. It's just exaggerated, but you get the point of what he's saying. Like I wrote a lot of shit for her. That's basically what it is.
But I don't think that's nothing to be ashamed of.
Shit, I play basketball. I'm fucking 90% better than Kobe.
Now, would you feel some type of way?
No, but you understand what I'm saying with the
Right, yeah. Now, my last question to you guys, and I want you guys, I'm gonna start with you, and you. What is one thing nobody know about you, but they should?
I'm a good actor.
This nigga said I'm a good actor.
That's his.
I'm messing with them. One thing they should know about me, if you don't know, I'm very passionate. Like, you might see me like think I'm angry, no, it's passion. You know, when I get focused on something, I zero in on it. I be real focused and passionate about things. You know, sometimes you might think I'm going crazy a little, but I'm just so passionate and wanting when you taste blood. I mean, that's how I be. People don't know that about me. They see me smiling all the time and being that pro, but I'm really like, you know, passionate. Be like, go off the deep end sometimes.
You're dealing with a lot of trauma as well, you know. And as men, we don't seek therapy. We took a lot of losses. You know what I'm saying? Deaths. That stuff take a toll on people. And then the world gets lonely. Don't nobody understand you. They're gonna write you off so fast. Oh, he crazy. But that person downtown on that bench, that wasn't a plan. You know what I'm saying? Or on that vent. That probably was a productive person in the world. Something just broke.
I talked to him.
When you talk to him, you're like, this
You
happened.
understand what I'm saying?
I was talking to one man, they was breaking down what they used to be, and you look at them like, damn, what happened? Just tell me what happened so it never happened to me. You know what I mean? Because that's some wisdom given.
Right.
For you to be in a position where you fucked up and still have your mind to explain what happened and talk and preach, and man, that's crazy.
But then that's what I would say to the youngins, segue into that. That people create this mantra of you can't learn something from somebody that don't have more than you. That's bullshit. You can learn from
Learn
everybody.
everything.
You can learn what not to do, like he
That's
said.
what I
from
said, yeah.
somebody. That's learning.
But you can learn from a dumb motherfucker is what not to do.
Exactly. A small person that I listen more and talk less sometimes. But as far as me, something that people should know about me, but maybe they do if they don't know me, is that I suffer from loyalty, you know. And Mike, I'm not no egotistical, selfish person. I'll really be wanting for my brothers what I want for myself. That's real rap. I mean it, you know what I'm saying? But you don't see that in the world all the time. And that's fine. You know what I mean? But, you know, life goes on.
Do you suffer from survivor's remorse?
I suffer from loyalty.
Survivor's remorse.
With that,
It's about to say there's a couple ways you can go with that.
Yeah, it is a
That was
couple.
good. But there's a couple ways you can go with that.
So survivor's remorse is, say for instance, you moved out the hood and somebody's still there that you're close to, you gel together, you know, and you're like, dang, I can't really show my upgrade because it feel like I am, you know what I'm saying, I'm belittling them. So it's that survivor's remorse where you come around them and you're not gonna dress.
You can split that down the middle too.
Go ahead.
well, I would say we had lessons and learned how to deal with things like that from our homie Garnett Littlepage, who owns Scotland Yard Security.
Okay.
And one time he used to be around him, he used to look out for us. He's a millionaire. He always came to work dressed down. He didn't even give him a chance to even think about the riches. Cause they only gonna think about it when they see it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never wear the fancy watches and the joke. When he came to work, yeah, and blended in. But me, I don't think I live my life in a box where I can't show my accomplishments. I feel safe in the hood still, even though it's drama filled. But we so deep rooted and we treat people well. Not meaning that something bad still can't happen, but they ain't on my mind. If that come, we prepared to deal with that too. But I just think that the love really do overpower the hate when you treat people as you want to be treated. That's what I believe.
All right, what's the question again?
What is one thing no one know about you, but they should?
Damn. I tell you what, I understand different languages. I understand directions, I understand. I mean, I think a lot of people already know about me, like far as personality, and you know, like I said, I want people to understand that if I understand different I just understand. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say I understand.
Okay.
Trust me on that.
Oh, hold on, let me say this. Don't nothing get by me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, that's
I'm talking about the smallest shit.
I understand. Don't get it.
And body language tell everything.
I'm a true believer of that.
It is. They say what they say. Communication is what
Non-verbal. Yeah.
That's cool.
How's your mental health today?
Let me speak first. Man, I was fucked up.
That's real.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. This is for anybody that's on this. I was really fucked up. One thing about getting your mental health together is recognizing what's wrong with yourself. Recognizing what's going on so you can adjust the situation. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna front. I'm a workaholic. I'm scattered. They all know me. I just pace back and forth. I'm never there. You know what I mean? In this interview, I'm pretty sure y'all gonna look and see me somewhere else and shit. I already know it because that's just me. You know what I mean? But that's it.
How about you?
Mental health wise, I mean, I'm an introvert. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of know when I'm getting off gear. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need that gym is a balance for me. My martial arts training, something to release it. Like sometimes when I don't have those outlets, they be like, "Back, you tripping?" I'm like, "Fuck that, fuck this, fuck that." But that's only I'm just venting to my brothers. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always make the right decision. Because we know that you one wrong decision away from your life being destroyed that fast. Everything you built could be going that fast.
Yeah.
And those voices in your head, don't listen to them sometimes. I think everybody have.
Right.
And some people just can't control them, man. So mental health is an everyday struggle.
Like I said, you know, the best thing is recognizing.
Recognizing,
Yeah.
definitely.
When you recognize it, you can adjust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can fix certain problems. You start analyzing yourself, holding yourself accountable. Why you feel like this? What's going on? And it's up to you to change certain shit for you to feel better or get it together. Cause I ain't gonna, like I said, I got drove crazy. I mean, it's different types of crazy. I got drove crazy because I'm trying to do so much. I want so much. Our anxiety kick in. We feel like we deserve this, and all. So it'll drive you crazy, especially when it don't work out like how you want it to work out.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like I said, if you can adjust to why shit ain't working out, what's going on, and you know that that's the problem, then your mental can be fixed faster. You be like, I'm going crazy for nothing. That's not me over here. I need to be doing this. That's why I'm crazy over here, because I didn't handle this. But you gotta recognize what you're not doing. You know what I'm saying? Or what you can fix.
Some people don't think nothing wrong, you know?
No, but that's enough. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some people need more. Some people ain't that strong
Right.
to recognize it and need medicine
Absolutely.
and things of that nature and all that. But, you know, all praise to everybody that's going through something mentally, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my fault.
Well, me, I mean, I be having my moments, you know, where I be, you know, going through it, depression and stuff, all the stuff I've been through. But me doing, like, we're a group, but I be doing a lot of solo projects, and that be my therapy for me. I don't be caring what nobody say. It helps me writing, studio, videos, performing. It helps me. You know, some people be thinking like, you know, but then when they get it, they be like, oh, I see what you're doing. Me, like, keep doing music and songs and perform. It's therapy for me. So when they be like, yo, your age, and I be like, that helped me mentally. So if something helped me mentally, I'm going to stop that and to be off, you know, like going through it to satisfy a person saying you too old to do something or do that to keep your sanity. So I do that. Music is my therapy. If I stop doing that, I'll probably go crazy.
Listen, and I'm gonna say this. I don't know if you're ready to say something. Sonny. The main thing be, like I said, what you deserve. Like we all feel that we supposed to have been there. This is the mental part you gotta handle. You know it's hard. You know the hardest thing for us to do on some real shit is to go to a show, a big show, and watch other motherfuckers perform. You know how hard that is, man. That shit is fucking ridiculous for us. So I mean, they ain't saying I'm speaking.
Oh, that's
for
all
myself.
the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've seen a therapist for a while.
It's a lot of things that can have you fucked up, or you feel mentally like you're a failure. You fail in certain spots. You know what I mean? That shit can really fuck you. And you know, another thing too, I don't even know. Working so hard and not getting nothing. Fuck yeah.
Right,
You know what I mean? Working so hard every day for this and then nothing changed. That'll fuck you up. You just gotta adjust. What could you do to make certain things change? If you don't adjust or don't understand what's going on, it'll fuck you up. A lot of things. And I'm not just talking music, I'm talking about life period.
In life period.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you guys that question is because us as men, us as black men, we are trained to, suck it up, keep it moving.
Men suffering silence.
Right. So, you could have got fired from a job. You could have lost a deal. You could have did anything, and you just trained. No, not trained. You're conditioned to just suck it up and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And these are the questions that I always ask men, and just in a whole. How's your mental health? Are you okay? When the last time somebody asked you, are you okay? People will say hello. Yeah, hey, what's up? You okay? Are you okay?
How you doing?
Exactly.
Are you okay? No. Are you really okay?
Are you really okay?
You know the thing about it is, who can fix it if you know? So that's where your spiritual balance got to come back in.
Right.
I tell you what though, Sonny.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
The question of somebody asking can trigger the start.
Yes.
It can trigger the
That's a fact. That's what happened with me. I was in Lancaster and Amish.
Just was there.
And a guy just asked me, he don't know me from a can of paint. He just let me say, hey, are you okay? I broke down in tears. Because sometimes us as men, we don't feel like we have a voice. We have a duty.
But the thing about it is, even with that, right, we still got to control our emotions.
That's crazy, because you can't even be vulnerable.
Because you can't even be over emotional. So it's like, it's rough, man. It is. You still got to have a balance because...
It is.
I don't know.
And what's crazy because
that's why you like
I just understood.
They call emotions.
Emotions are choices. For real. Yeah. You can choose to be emotional. You can choose to feel like they choices.
But you have to control them because if you use your emotions in the wrong way,
it fuck you up.
Penitentiary.
That's why I say they choices.
Yep.
Got 1 second.
Period.
A lot of dudes you talk to, man, I just got under the fan, man. The sweat was dead. I'll be out.
But you don't find that where, and and I'm at the ask her this too. You don't find that where that women can go to their girlfriends and family members. They got this little women group that they be like, oh yeah, you gonna be all right. Forget him and da da da. But us as men, we don't have that. That same equal opportunity.
You know what we got? Pass me that cup.
No, we got it. We got it. See, the thing with men hold us.
We can't do that.
We hold ourselves accountable. We hold ourselves accountable. So, first of all, men need support. You need support, but also as men, the bottom line is, what are you doing to make it better? If you don't show that as men, then that's on you, and men will exploit you for that. Like, nigga, you the one, you gotta step it up.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Exactly. Women be like, oh, I help you, how can you have mine, and she can have hers, and all that bullshit. Yep. We like, no, get the fuck up and step it up. We all rocking with you. One thing that's crazy about men, nigga do something and we'll be like, yeah, we'll go crazy, because think about it, we work out. Motherfucker, I ain't gonna say no names, but we do pull-ups and shit. The inspiration is just to do it. As men, do one. Motherfucker do one. Like, man, motherfucker feels salty that he did one. We like, no, you just accomplished something.
Right.
You got one done.
One is better.
I ain't saying tomorrow you get two, but you can just get it to two next time, or however you go. That's the difference. You know what I mean? We gonna make you put the work in for you to get better. Now, I'm not making you better. You gonna make yourself better.
Right.
I'm gonna help you make yourself better, but you gonna do it, not me.
Right.
I'm doing my own shit.
Right.
But I think that we would. Go ahead. Your question.
Right. No. Continue.
No. I'm just saying that even still, we saying that. I could say at some point you feel like that it should be someone willing to give you a hand up, especially if that was a person that you helped before. You know what I'm saying? And when you realize, like, damn, I thought I was holding these cards and I had these cards. It's like he said earlier, we don't ask nobody for nothing. All right, but we asking now. Put that card down and you're like, dang, that card ain't even work. You know what I'm saying? That right there is a gut check right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, one thing we got is us, though. We showed that over decades, so.
Right.
I believe our chances, man, as far as winning still. Like, the dream of being successful ain't leave. It's still that little kid that drive us back. You know what I'm saying? And we talented. We got it, man.
Bro, when the last time you cried, bro?
He cried every
Today.
fucking day. He cried when Martin go off. That motherfucker, man.
No, it ain't lying out because I be thinking about a lot of
Gina!
stuff I go through. Like I be
Right.
jogging. Like I hate records that I do will get me emotional. Like when he was talking about his wife, who's my cousin.
Right.
I was getting ready to go on the camera, but I held it in. I cry all the time. Of missing my peoples. Like, that really,
right.
That really scarred me. You know what I mean? Like losing my mother, sister, grandma. His wife was my cousin. We grew up like sister and brother. I lost another sister. So just like been through a lot. So I be dropping them tears a lot. Like if I do a song that I do, like one time I did an emotional record and I was on Facebook Live and I was dropping some tears because the song just hit me. Everybody thought I was having a breakdown. I was like, yo, I just miss my mother.
Right.
I was doing a song talking about them, and it got me emotional. And they was like, "Oh, he going through something. Man, what he going through hard times?" I'm like, I miss my mother.
And you were allowed to do that.
I miss my sister. And then people like, "Oh," I'm like, "You get it. I miss them 365 days. I miss them. And no Mother's Day, no birthdays, no Christmas make me get emotional. Every day I miss them. So I'm going to drop the tears. I'll be jogging anywhere I'm at. When we in the studio, they be like, "What's it? I'm missing his folks." I drop them. You know that I ain't afraid to show my emotions. Like I say in the song, like you ain't a man till you cry like a woman, and that's real. So stop acting tough when you sad. Let them spill. I'm an emotional guy on missing my peoples, not just emotional like just that, but that hit me hard. That's where a lot of my darkness come from, because I ain't understand it. You know, when you get the big ones, and then the big ones, and you're a person who has your whole family all the time, and then them crutches go, this my grandmother, this my mother. God, like, give me that. Give me that. Now you gotta be a man around me. It was a culture shock.
Right.
And I be manning up saying, like, yo, I ain't understanding. I was going through stuff, living conditions, and going through a lot. And I took accountability. I'm like, it's me. I checked myself. I looked in the mirror and said, you the problem. So I was like, you need money, get on your grind. Start selling CDs. When people like, you can't sell CDs no more, sold them out. Selling merchandise, bringing out stuff. All of a sudden now, getting on the joint. It was like, it was me. I'm doing this, but 3 was coming back. I never put none of my troubles on nobody. It was me. I'm my gatekeeper. God and me. I ain't dependent on a person. Me. And then you grind and get to it. But when you got a good spirit, people look out for you. Oh, I want you to do this for me. Y'all do that. You got that person. Because it's a wicked, cold world out here. When you down there, when you go through things, women turn their back on you. Friends, they laugh at you instead of helping you. If you're going to look down, help me up. But I got on my grind. And then, like, my crew, I took the challenge to say I got to prove it to my brothers. And sometimes they think, like, well, what you on? I'm going to show you. And then Black came to me and Ice. Shook my hand like, he was right, dog. And that meant more than people buying my stuff, anything. I cried when they did that when I was on my own. Like, damn, I showed them. Not in a bad way, but, like, I proved to my brothers, like, yo, I'm doing this. And they got it. And then Sonny B. Man texting me, Beezy, man. Fuck with you, dog. Inspirational, like you was right. That mean a lot. Ice, Beezy. Yeah, Beezy. You know what I mean? That's proving to them was what mattered to me. Like, cause people out in the streets talk junk and they come to them, what's up with your man? They be like, he ain't gonna listen. It's working? Yeah. Enough said. People try to talk about stuff that's working. It's not working, they be like, oh man, it's working. Now if it wasn't, then you be like, yeah, you tripping, you need to do something. But when it start working, it's putting a little money in your pocket, you're like, it's working, what's wrong with it? It seemed like the microscope beyond us heavy for some reason. Through our whole thing, when we do something like, what they doing that for? Ice doing a movie, yeah, all right. Black acting, yeah. I see it from people. They come to the, what your man doing? I be like, yo, we only live once. Cause when you're going forever.
That comes in where you can't give a fuck with nobody saying it. If it don't fit your agenda, then fuck 'em.
Got my brand on right now, so
You know
what's
what
no
I'm saying?
look? Boom.
For me, on the far as crying,
No, I ain't crying. Mm-mm. No,
like you said, no, it'd be a record. Like it could be like my wedding song or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, stuff like that, or happy tears sometimes. Cause they be like, yo, I'm still God ain't give up on me.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
not to cut him off. I cried at Powerhouse backstage. Cause we did it. That was our dream to do Powerhouse, and we finally got a chance to do it. I'm in there like, they looking like, what's wrong with him? I'm like, man, it's Powerhouse. You know how many times we sat in that crowd looking like one game?
I'd have been looking like, what the
It was
fuck?
up there. That was big, man. That
Powerhouse.
took
What we
me
do
there.
Powerhouse?
Powerhouse.
I'm talking
That
about like
stage,
years. Like how many
It
years?
was
02.
Yeah.
But just doing
That was our
that.
first Powerhouse?
Yeah, but we used to be in there when it was at the Civic Center, 89, 90. And be like, next year we gonna get up there next. And when it came,
The Civic Center Jones wasn't Powerhouse?
yeah, it was. That's when they
So we
first
rocked
started
them
it.
joints.
No, we was just there. We ain't. No, I'm talking about. we
What about when
performed at the Civic
ODB
Center.
and all that? What was that at?
No, that was just shows. That
Yeah, that
wasn't
was
the
just a
power.
show.
Yeah. And I was in there dropping them because I was just like, I can't.
Oh, so we
believe
like
I did it.
stretching them,
And we
my
talked
teeth at
about
them
it
motherfuckers.
and did that.
That's when Charlie had his games. But yeah, crying. Yeah, I ain't. I ain't doing too much crying. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay to cry.
I know it feel good, but they don't be dropping.
Nothing,
They don't be
bro.
coming up.
I be
I like them
I
when they.
mean-
I like when the joint roll.
He said when they
Like they don't roll. Like it just stay right there. Like you can get the white jump. But
You got blink hard. Squeeze that motherfucker.
yeah, I want to
hard.
squeeze
You know,
them.
when I seen him, you know, when I was like, yeah, right. And that's but I knew we were looking like, come on, black man. But we going through it.
I think I'm
looking
still.
like,
I'm still. I don't know, man. I'm still fighting with that. That man ain't got nobody to talk to. Joe.
Yeah, Ice drop him too now. You know what I'm talking about. Ice
But you do.
I don't know.
You do. You'll find it. You'll find them.
You know, because your problems is gonna get pushed to the side because everybody going through something.
Right.
Even if they stay hearing you out, it's like, all right, but it's gonna get to that point where motherfucker, you want me to tell your mind? You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody going through something, so you might lay it on somebody a little bit, but you ain't going. I don't know. It's hard.
His tears is snapping.
It's hard, bro.
His tears is snapping. When you see him snap,
Yeah.
that's him crying.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
when he snap, it's him crying.
I think I mastered my emotions far as snap. Because in my brain, I'll be willing to go. But I want to live.
Right.
And I got things to live for. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But in your brain, you really be feeling like, I don't know, man. It ain't no way to turn sometimes. That's how I feel.
I mean, listen, you're 100% correct, man, because we live in a world where we are conditioned not to show the emotions, not to cry, keep it moving and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, when a gentleman came up to me and asked me, was I okay?
Right.
It just kind of like all my walls just went down. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, somebody
Cared. Yeah.
Somebody really asked me, just those small little words. You don't have to let me vent to you, nothing. I was just, you know, it brought reassurance to me that I'm human. I can hurt. I can go through something. I can react in this manner. I can feel this way. So, you know, when you said that you lost your wife, I said, bro, I got a wife. I can't imagine. My wife was, you know, on her deathbed with kidney stones, hundreds of them in her kidney. She was out of here. Bloodstream was messed up. And one of my prayers, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to get religious, but one of my prayers is that I said, God, let her live, take me. Because that's my best friend, that's my dog. And I cried like you said, cry like a girl. You know what I'm saying? I was a floor technician at a Mennonite home over in Lancaster, and I'm crying like a dog. And I was like, yo, like I can't have her leave me. We was about to get married in a month. So I cried like a mug, bro. So I'm not saying that men shouldn't cry, but you got the right to.
Got the right to when it ain't time to.
Yup, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right now, because ain't nobody hearing the cries, man.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No.
I'm being me.
Yeah, no. And that's all I want you to do is be 100% you.
I'm being me, man.
This
ain't nobody hearing the cries.
Right.
Well, mine.
I mean,
But they hear the roar, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
lions cry is a roar.
They hear the roar.
When a lion roar, you don't know if it's crying.
What about you, Ice? I'm gonna leave you for last.
All right, and let me get this out right, because I was gonna say, I used to mess with this chick. Her name was Onions.
Okay.
She really fucked me up, had me crying a lot. No, but I'm just fucking with her. Y'all see me.
Oh my goodness.
You didn't get it, Onions.
Onions make you cry. Yeah. That's why I had to laugh.
Man,
You got to put some humor in this joint. It got a little people.
Yeah.
Man.
It did.
See, I told people like that.
break it down when they was crying. Emotions fly. Emotions fly no matter what.
That's dope.
I ain't gonna front. I'm emotional, and I don't like seeing people get hurt. I don't like people going through shit. I can look at a good person that's in a great position and be like, damn, I feel bad for him because he ain't like me, and I ain't shit. You know what I mean? That's just me. I'm that type, so I'm emotional. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna front. That's to keep it real, right? You go through a lot of shit to where you might analyze yourself or evaluate yourself, and you be like, damn, I could have did so much. Or, you know what I mean? You start feeling some type of way about which you missed out. Or you could just feel like I said, it depends where your mental at. You could just feel like you're failing. Like certain things can make you feel like that. Of course, relationships and all that shit. I ain't talking about the relationship. I'm really talking about more of regular shit.
Right.
I am an emotional dude. I'm gonna tell you this though. How I used to be is out the fucking window now. You know what I mean? Because you look at life different. Certain things are expected, and they are expected to where I won't have certain emotions for them like how I had before.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm getting better at certain points, but at certain points I'm still such a good dude. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna talk that shit. I knock a nigga the fuck out and feel bad. That's why I'm so humble. I feel like I can go through something and it still feel bad. Like, damn, that's just me. I can't front on it. That's why everybody always say, you went through something with Ice, you must have did something to Ice. You know what I mean? He couldn't have did nothing to you because everybody knew me.
Right.
I mean, all of us. None of us do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But we on some strong defense.
That's the whole thing.
If you come with some
I'm a counter.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm a counter.
That's what goes back to what we said about respect. Respect. Everybody deserves it, man.
Right.
And it's due to every single person walking this earth. Dumb, crippled, blind, slow, tall, strong, whatever. Respect it.
Even ugly.
Respect
I like fucking with it.
So listen, man. You guys gave me a real untold interview, bro. Like you know what I'm saying, and I wanted this interview to be based off of your fan base, your supporters, your family and friends that never seen you, individually in this light. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, you know, salute you guys, you know what I'm saying, you know, for, you know, bringing Naam Brigade to this culture. You know what I'm saying? You guys was an addition to this culture that it was well needed, especially for Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? You guys contribute some good talent. You guys contribute some good records that I still, to this day, I still rock, you know what I'm saying? And it was an honor, bro, for, you know what I'm saying, for you guys to, you know, come up on the Untold and, you know what I'm saying, and give me a dope interview. You know what I'm saying? I really, you know, and I'm proud of you guys for what y'all doing. Y'all got the movie, y'all got the documentary, y'all still got the music. I'm super duper proud of you guys. And for me and my platform, anything I could do to help move y'all, push the envelope for you guys, call away.
May I help you?
Yeah. I need to purchase a gun, please.
Do you know what kind of firearm you're looking for?
Something powerful, you know, but get to it.
Do you want to grab or what?
Yeah, man, what you think I came all the way here for nothing?
The fuck she watching?
This looks like exactly what I need.
Everybody put your motherfucking hands in the air! Y'all know what this is! Hey, man, slow the fuck down, man!
Peterson. Yeah, where? Southwest? We on our way.
What do we got?
211 turned into a 187 of a pawn shop owner.
I've never seen anyone shot before, especially not like that.
She's been through a rough one.
Yeah, I can tell. Our person made this one really ugly.
You got something on your mind, Seth?
Michael Thompson, street name Blast.
Bring my money back. Don't make me choke the shit out of you, all right?
Okay.
Petty gun dealers? You really think it's them behind all this?
Keep pointing the fucking gun right at your face! Fuck about that gun!
Shit, we got us a little lover's quarrel here.
I was calling because I wanted to fuck your brains loose tonight. Seriously. Come get this pussy.
Really?
You got a gun in your taxi.
This is Banks? Let them know we're on our way over now. We're in the area.
Detective Banks. Surprised seeing you here.
Thought you were out on retirement.
Not yet.
All right, today we're going to continue learning basic algebra.
What was that all about?
Yeah, 911 got a call. A victim came home to an intruder, reported robbery. All right, well, I'll go over to the train station in the morning and just try to see what I can find out.
Yeah, well, I hope Blast and that gun show up again. I really hate to see anyone else get hurt with that one gun.
Oh, shoot, this joint real.
Run, Jimmy, run!